Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doctor Mike TV. Back again. Once again, you should already know, baby. Instant classic in the making. First time to the channel, guys. Make sure you subscribe and notify. Do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the Good Docs content. All my good stuff shall be listed in the link in the description area below. Official time check, ladies and gentlemen, 8:35 in the PM Eastern Standard Time, which makes it 7:35 Central, 5:35 for everybody repping that West Coast, and of course, 9:35 in the AM Philippine Standard Time. Wherever you guys are important in the world today, thank you guys for joining the Good Doc on a Q&A, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to come through on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday evening. Q&A time, man. Just wanted to have a conversation with my people, see where everybody's headspace is, see what's on your mind. You can ask me a question, Philippine based or not. I will be glad and happy to answer it if I have the know-how or the wherewithal to be able to do so. Shout out to my man K Dallas. What's up with you, brother? Appreciate you coming through. Shout out to my brother Ahmed Global. You're in Michigan now. I guess Kampala, Uganda is distant part of the past, but probably going to be a part of the near future in the coming months, years, whatever it may be. But shout out to my brothers, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. Appreciate y'all showing love. I don't know what y'all got going on in your world today, but like I said, man, if y'all come through and politic with the Good Doc, glad to have a conversation with you. My brother Robert, what's up with you, pimping? Um, the other day, guys, I put out a video about what was going on in the Philippines, man. And I really did want to at least have a genuine conversation about it because, I'm hearing things and I got people who are corroborating and or at least saying that they're noticing the exact same things that I actually put out in the video. So the other day, man, I said, I got some good news, or I've been hearing good news that I think my future fellow travelers would actually enjoy to hear. And one of the things that I talked about was how can I say this? They were not checking vaccination cards like they once did in the past. As in, when you go into the mall, when you go into certain locations and stuff like that, they weren't monitoring you guys for your vaccination cards, right? Nor were they asking for QR codes, y'all. Nor were they asking for QR codes. And I mean, I guess a lot of us who were not in that situation when it happened, going through COVID going through COVID times during, living in the Philippines, right? A lot of us will never be able to understand what it was like. But for all of my brethren who were literally there going through it on a day to day, when they said that, they weren't really checking QR codes like they used to, when they weren't really checking the vaccination cards like they used to, they were just requiring us to continue wearing face masks and stuff like that. That is like a monumental move in the Philippines. I shit you not, guys. That is monumental, especially when you have people who were turned away from going into certain locations and turned away for not having QR codes and contact tracing access. And, you weren't allowed to go into certain places, this, that, and the other. And the benefit that it really served to my unvaccinated foreigners in that regard, that all played a major role in the transition and their shift into the energy that the Philippines is putting off right now. Right now, did that particular shift in energy come as a result of all the other countries making these moves? Did the Philippines check the how can I say this, the COVID cases and the lack thereof, the decrease in the percentage over time, and come to the conclusion that, what, maybe we don't have to be as hard up on doing this shit as we did once in the past? I mean, who knows where this particular transition of energy towards, lack of checking QR codes and vaccination cards came in. All I know is that I do believe that it is to the benefit of us as foreigners coming into the country, right? More so specifically to my to my unvaxxed foreigners, wherein, it seemed as though in certain locations you guys would have been turned away because you did not have your vaccination stuff with you. But like I said, all news is good news. Like I said, man, you can take and run with this information if you want to. Like I said, I encourage all of my foreigners to take a deep breath, fall back, keep your eyes open, keep your ear to the street, see what's really going on, before you start making and considering the move to the Philippines, immediately, right? I mean, we always got to take our time. So all I want to make sure that my brothers are out there doing. Shout out to my man Joseph. What's good with you, man? He says they're not checking because they lost too much money. That could definitely be a legit reason as to why you don't really hear the Philippines hard up on checking these vaccination cards and QR codes like they did in the past, right? I don't know how in depth it was, but I do believe that it became a turnoff, man. Let's keep it a buck and a half, man. It really became a turnoff for a lot of people looking to travel to the country. It was like, yo, man, you see the shit that I got to do just to get to the country? Why in the world do I want to go to a place wherein I'm going to feel more like a prisoner than an actual traveler or a tourist? When tourism becomes prison, it's kind of what it's like, you know? When I thought that I was going to be able to enjoy a vacation, but I can't enjoy it without QR codes here, vaccination cards there, checking of this, checking of that, jumping from city to city, and I have to have a QR code in this new city. I got to download something else over here. I mean, it seemed like in my mind they were asking a lot. I understand why they were asking that, but in my mind I was like, yo, tell me what foreigner in their right mind would willingly subject themselves to that bullshit. Think about it. In reality, what foreigner would willingly subject themselves to that bullshit for a vacation? It just didn't seem right. It didn't seem like a lot of guys were going to want to make that move, and as a result, they could have very well lost some money over it. You know, who knows? CJ, what's up with you, man? Checking QR codes and Vax cards was probably tedious for them. Oh yeah, it became a pain in the ass because you check everybody in the mall, right? And you know what's funny? When you say that, it makes me laugh though because back in the day, like, and I know, and anybody who's ever been to the Philippines, you guys know this, right? So, you know, they got the guards, right? They got the guards that usually check both male and female when you walk in the mall. They barely do a check. If anything, they rub your waist just to make sure you ain't got a gun on you, or you know, they check your bag. But the check was very lackadaisical, bro. It was a weak ass check at best. Like if somebody really wanted to come into that mall with some shit, chances are they would be able to get in without problem because usually the security guards didn't really check people like they normally would. But imagine having to check QR codes now being a part of your process, or checking of this and checking of that now becomes a part of the process for you to let people into the mall. It's almost like you can bet those lines to get into the mall were wrapped around the building, because if you have to be thorough in the way that you check people and shit like that, that could definitely be a tedious and or daunting task. And if that's the reason why they stopped doing it, I'm not mad. I ain't mad at all. You know, because that shit right there becomes a pain in the ass. It becomes a pain in the ass not only for the people who have to wait to be checked, but for the people doing the checking, man. Right? You got people in the line probably frustrated as hell and shit like that. You know, they puffing and probably mumbling and saying all kinds of nonsense under their breath because somebody's QR code isn't coming up on the phone, or somebody's, what is it, their lack of data and some shit won't allow you to have the QR code open. So it could become an issue, right? So on both ends, I can see it being a daunting task for sure. He said in Uganda they never cared. Exactly. I know a lot of people who have been to Africa, they ain't even worry about this shit like that. And that's why Africa is definitely a priority for me. It's a bucket list thing, man. I ain't gonna call it this year, I ain't gonna call it next year, but damn it, it's coming soon. All right. He said leaving for the Philippines soon, and I am hoping all out war doesn't get started and I get stuck there. I pray that it doesn't either, man. I mean, you guys know what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. Who knows what's going to happen in the Philippines, right? Let's keep it a buck. Who knows if the Philippines is going to have a little bit of an issue with China, right? You know, you just never know. I pray it doesn't either. For the sake of everybody involved, I pray it doesn't. But yeah, man, you know, anything can happen. That's why you have to be very careful about the moves that you make in the coming future. Not only is, you know, the checking of this, that, and the other, and all of the requirements to get into the country becoming a challenge and something to kind of deter a lot of foreigners from coming to the country, but also the potential outbreak of anything potentially happening in the country is now starting to creep into the minds of a lot of foreigners, and it's also making some people turn themselves off to the country as well. All right. He said, I'm just glad Philippines is back open now. I can go there and search for my second wife. Hey, man, there you go, sir. Can never have too many, right? Shout out to my man Roy. What's up with you, brother? Appreciate you coming through. Robert, he says the check. He said more like a pat and go. Robert, bruh, that shit was weak. It won't no damn check. Let's keep it real. Anybody who's ever going to a Philippine mall, they ain't do shit. They was lazy as hell. If somebody really wanted to do something in that mall, I promise you, you could, because they don't check shit. Really, they don't. But the need for the QR codes and all that stuff, it kind of probably added, you know, extra work for them and kind of turned a lot of people off. Okay. Yo, 16 in the building, bro. I only got 6 likes. Y'all fucking with me tonight. I see that. So I'm gonna have to stop the show momentarily to at least ask you guys to go ahead and drop a like on that like button. You already know what it is, man. Y'all make sure y'all can rest, less, and de-stress stuff. Love that like button. It wants it, it needs it, most definitely has to have it. You guys want to support in any capacity, please feel free to do so. But of course, good Doc is happy and blessed. Y'all choose come through, spend a little bit of time with him today. Now you're on then. Now let's get back to business. But yeah, man, that fucking pat down was weak. Zerv, what's up with you, bro? Be safe out there on them bikes, bro. Shit crazy. Shout out to my man Charles. What's up with you, man? He says China is planning to roll up on Taiwan. That's sad. How y'all gonna bully Taiwan, bro? That's what kills me, man. How y'all bullying Taiwan? Taiwan got some badass women though, bro. I realized that only last minute. I heard Taiwan got some baddies, bro. Well, anywhere you go, you got bad women, but Taiwan is definitely a place. I think there's only been one other brother in history that has ever talked about Taiwan, and that was my man Benny. He goes by the name. What does my man Benny go by? Fuck, he gonna be mad at me. But it's my boy Benny. Benny, he knows what I'm talking about. He know who I'm talking about. But he's the only person that ever mentioned Taiwan ever. Like anybody who's ever come through and had a conversation with me, he's like the only one that ever talked about Taiwan. So big facts. Um, Sounds probably not like a bad place to go. But the more you know, ladies and gentlemen, the more you know. Open your eyes, open your minds, man, and see where the world takes you. Um, I really did want to go to Ukraine, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wanted to go to Ukraine. My boy, Mr. Smith, he sent me some pictures, man, and he talked about his experience in Ukraine, being black in Ukraine. We never got to do the live show together, but he shared with me a lot about his experiences, in Ukraine, and it just sounded awesome. But now this is happening and kind of put a dent in a lot of people's plans. If you did have a plan to go to Ukraine, um, and I'm praying that everything turns out okay, guys. I'm not a political channel, which is why you don't hear me touch on that shit very much. But I try not to watch the news very much. I don't know what's real and what's fake. So I really don't try to believe everything that I see on the news, but y'all, it look a little rough out there in them streets, bro. It definitely looks a little rough out there in them streets. I know Taiwan can't take on China. I know the Philippines can't take on China, so I hope that neither one of them countries decide to pick a fight with the second largest superpower in the world. I think they're second after the United States. I think. I don't know. What the fuck I know, bro? What the fuck do I know? Tanzania is a quality country, very welcoming. In Kenya, it is easy to meet women. My man said he had no problem getting a young girlfriend, but Kenya is not a friendly country, so I don't recommend it. So, Tanzania over Kenya. Gotcha. Um, it's different, man. I mean, the energy about travel should never change. And I want to make sure that I keep everybody's travel spirits high. I mean, you don't need me to tell y'all to get y'all passport and get the fuck out. Y'all don't need me to tell you that, right? But what I do need to mention and what I would definitely like to keep in, this realm that we service, travel community to the Philippines, whatever you want to call it. What I do want to keep the energy alive about is, don't let what's happening in the world deter you, right? Yeah, I'm not telling you, yeah, just because they're fighting in Ukraine, don't go to Ukraine. Of course, I'm not saying no shit like that. Just because they're fighting in Russia, I'm not telling you guys not to go to Russia. Of course, I'm not saying no shit like that. But, um, I still believe that, like I said, you don't necessarily have to touch down in those places. And it's sad though, man, because I had Russia on my list too, bro. I wanted to go to Russia bad. Shout out to my man Phil Coe. That man had me wanting to go to Russia like there was no tomorrow. He made Russia look real dope. And I pray that he's out right now. I pray he's not in Russia right now. But I don't know. I haven't checked up on the channel in quite a long time. But yeah, man, he was one of the very few vloggers, YouTubers, or whatever you want to call it, that kind of turned me on to even remotely wanting to do YouTube videos. So him and of course my brother O'Shea, two of my all-time favorites, most influential in my YouTube journey. They all kept me wanting to even get involved in this shit. So yeah. Anyways, don't let what's happening in the world stop you from traveling. There's always other places to go visit, and Thailand is definitely appealing. Big facts. Mike, what's up with you, brother? Yes, if you haven't dropped your like, man, don't leave the like button hanging. It's free, bro. The like button is free. I promise you. It ain't gonna bite you. It ain't gonna hurt you. All you gotta do is just tap it one good time. Huh? Pop, pop. Just right there. If you could double tap it, that'd be dope. But you probably only hit it once, because if you hit it twice, it'll probably take the like away. But anyways, man, it's free, bro. I appreciate y'all logging in, Mike. I appreciate you dropping in. He says Ukraine is asking the African expats to fight for them. That shit crazy. I heard that they were being a little extra towards the African expats, man. I heard that their energy was different. Like some people even went out on a limb and said that they were being racist towards the African expats. I didn't follow up on the story. I didn't read into it, but there were a lot of people that covered it. I know O'Shea did it, and I know that the amazing Lucas talked about uh, their vibe towards the African. They're not immigrants. Yeah, I guess the African expats that were in the country. So how you gonna fight for somebody that don't even really fuck with you like that? That's the best way I can put it. How you gonna rock with somebody that don't even look at you like that? He said, "Did I go to Ukraine? The State Department is asking Americans to avoid it." That I can. My bad, y'all. He says, "I get enough cold weather here." He said, "I'm trying to go to someplace warm. Good old tropical Philippines, y'all. Can't miss." Mm, Thailand, can't miss either. But yeah, man. Hey, Q&A, man. Y'all got questions? I got answers. Let's see what we got. My man's name is Moneyline Parlay, man. He said, "Is $100 a good allowance for a Filipina from the province? We live together in the Philippines." Yeah. I think any amount of money that you find to be sufficient is a good amount of money. Okay. See, this is what I think a lot of us get wrong, right? If you're living together with your girl, whatever amount of allowance you want to give her, that's completely up to you. But here's where we, the foreigner, get it fucked up, right? We're over here allowing our young ladies to dictate how much money we give them. The fuck is that? Let's talk about that for a second, because I think we have kind of lost our way to an extent, right? Now, big respect to anybody who asks if this amount of money is good, or is this amount of money is good for living in certain areas, because you need to know, right? But I think we've kind of lost our path in allowing our women to dictate how much money we send. Now, to an extent, a lot of us are cool with the amount of money that they ask for, because it's not hurting our pockets, right? So if somebody say $200 a month, which is about 10,000 pesos, that's not going to hurt a lot of us, right? If we give it 200 a month, right? But it's the fact that we somewhat allow our women, or the women we're in relationships with, to kind of dictate how much money we send. Now, my boy here, Parlay, brother, I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, but I'm just talking about it in the general sense, wherein sometimes guys do allow themselves to, or allow their women to dictate how much money they send. No, you send what you can send, and you send it, and you just tell baby girl, make it work. If your girl can't make it work, that's a problem. If they need extra, or if it's necessary for a emergency of sorts or whatever to send extra, that's different. But I kind of feel like we kind of need to set the standard, and we need to set, hey, this is what we'll send, this is what I'm okay with sending. So it's kind of like she got to be cool with it, or she's not gonna be cool with it. But I don't think that we should allow them to dictate how much money we should send them at all. I don't think that that's a good look, in my opinion, right? Because at that point, who knows when that number's going to change, right? Now, if you are somebody like myself who's been in the country for a long period of time, and you kind of know the expenses of your young lady, and you kind of know how much you would need to send for bills or whatever it is, if she's got an apartment or whatever, and you know how much money will be beneficial for her to have, and then whatever little extra she has just to spending money, and you can kind of come up with a budget on your own, you do that. And you talk about it with her, like, okay, you spend how much on this, how much on this, how much do you spend on groceries, how much do you spend on this? Right, just go through the notions of everything, and then you come up with a budget based on that. I kind of feel like that's more or less a working together, as opposed to her saying, "Oh, just give me $500, that's fine." $500, like it could be an overshot for all you know, right? So I just kind of feel like we gotta kind of monitor how much we let our young ladies dictate how much we send. But again, $100 ain't the end of the world, brother. It ain't. If you feel like $100 is good and you live with her and you're taking care of everything else like you normally would, whatever that may be or whatever that situation is in the moment, then you're good, man. Whatever you want to give her as sufficient, give it to her, bro. Ain't nobody gonna say shit to you. That's your relationship, man. Right? You can't sit there and allow the relationship to be dictated in any other way. Whatever you feel comfortable with giving, as long as you're living with her in the country. Now, if you were sending money to her while you were in a different country and she's kind of running things on her own, and it's not so much you're just giving her an allowance just to have some, cash to hold, it's a little bit different. You feel me? My man said it just like that. The pandemic is ended. CJ, it is funny how quickly that shit came to an end. Like, it's abrupt as fuck, right? All I keep thinking about is all the shit that they were talking about people who didn't wear masks. Y'all remember that? I remember a guy when I used to work at my other job, a dude came in the store and he was like, "Bro, why you wearing masks, man? The masks don't help, the masks don't work and shit." And I'm like, "Look, man, I gotta wear this shit because my job required me to wear this shit. That's it." That's what I told him. "Man, that shit don't help. It ain't gonna protect you." I said, "You probably 100% correct, man. But hey, the job say wear the motherfucker. That's what it say, right?" So you fast forward a couple years down the line, now it's literally everybody telling you, take your mask off, take your mask off, take your mask off. The shit don't work, take your mask off. Everybody's gonna get COVID anyways, right? Like, yo, it made you turn your head because it was the politicians and all these motherfuckers pushing it. Now all of a sudden it's everybody anti-mask now. But you have to understand the conditioning of the mind, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the way I see it. When you've conditioned people to wear that shit constantly, 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 constantly. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. And we're talking about at least a year and a half, 2 years plus of you constantly telling people, wear your mask, practice social distancing, wear your mask, practice social distancing, wipe down surfaces, get your disinfectants, wipe your shit. When you tell people to take their mask off and they don't, how you gonna get mad at them when you were conditioning them to do that shit for the better part of a year and a half plus? Now all of a sudden, yo, take your mask off, everything's cool. Shit, crazy, man. My man said, being he said, being black, you can't hide over there. No, you cannot, sir. We kind of stick out like a sore thumb, especially if you're dark like me, man. Like I said, man, women like the chocolate skin, but brother, we stand out. Big thanks. That's whatever country we go into, unless we're going to Africa, it's a little different, right? He said, I don't think you ever send a single Filipina money only for herself. I don't think you ever should send a single Filipina money for herself. I think that's what you said, brother. I'm just trying to get right, make sure I got it right. Um, Clarify me if I fucked it up. Glow Master, what's up with you, brother? Appreciate you locking in. He said pandemic is not ending. Another variant has been found. See, Smooth, let me tell you though, it's not so much that the pandemic has ended per se, but it's the fact of their initial like hard on, yo, wear your mask, man. Put that shit on. Like the fact that they're telling people now to take the shit off, it feels as though they're like basically telling you, ta-da, well, fuck you, you don't have to wear your mask anymore. After they were harping on that shit for like a long time. So, hey, man, the more you know, ladies and gentlemen, the more you know. Shit weird, bro. Shit weird. Yo, 19 in the building, man. Appreciate y'all locking in. If you haven't dropped your like, Doc would highly appreciate that one. If you want to drop a dislike because you don't give a fuck about me, do you think? Steve, what's up with you, brother? He says, what do you think of the Hellcat Pro 9mm? I have yet to test fire a Hellcat. I have yet to hold one. But god dang it, if I haven't heard that was a bad motherfucker, man. I've heard things. and that was definitely on the list of things to buy. Apparently, the SCCY is pronounced sky, and I've been saying SCCY forever. I did not know it was pronounced sky. The video that I put out yesterday, apparently it's pronounced sky. It's a 10 plus one. I didn't know that until after I put the video out. Um, but it was cheap though, bro. It was like a discounted gun. I bought buy it online and shit like that. Resale value on that bitch is definitely like in the 200 range, but we got it for real cheap. So I have yet to hold a Hellcat, bro. I have yet to hold a Hellcat. People talk about it. They brag about it. How bad do I really want one? I don't know. But that Judge, oh, that's a bad one right there, man. That five shooter, the 5 round Judge, the Targe Judge. Oh, that's we put some 410 rifle slugs through it, and we put the 45 Colt through it, bruh. That boy, God dang. The 410 slug, the 410 rifle slug through that Judge. Oh, that shit sounded like a cannon going off in your hand, bro. That shit was loud, the motherfucker. It was beautiful, man. Like when I told you that shit give you a hard on, big pause, no pause at all. I mean it, man. When you put a couple rounds to that thing, that shit changed your whole life perspective. I shit you not. 22 in the building, man. Make sure you drop your like. He says, I'm sorry. When you send money to a Filipina, it's never only for herself. Got you. Yeah, somebody else is going to benefit from your money. I think we should all learn that as men. There's always going to probably be some guy in the background, depending on the severity of your situation, depending on how real your situation is. There's probably somebody else benefiting from your sent, hard earned income of sorts. I mean, it is what it is. Mm, I can remember being the person that benefited from that particular situation. Mr. K, what's up with you, man? He said, good evening, Doc. He said, making my Filipino vlogger rounds. Well, I appreciate you locking in tonight. I have no idea who else is live, but I appreciate you stopping in. If you haven't dropped your like, I'd appreciate that. If you got places to be, hey, this one right here, as far as I know, it's going to stay up. I mean, we're just having general conversation, nothing really standard, just having fun and just talking to my people, man. He said, I have to wear a mask most of the time, anyways, the smallest thing, and I am sick sometimes in the hospital. Truth. My mom also has a compromised immune system, so it's mask 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, especially. I mean, not when she's home, but yeah, like my mom has a compromised immune system too. So yeah, she wears a mask every time she goes out, and I wear a mask particularly just in case me and her are around each other. I don't want her to catch anything at all. So that's like one of my biggest fears. If I did get it, I never had it yet. I think, let me knock on wood, because I pray I haven't, and I pray I don't get it like a lot of people do, and they be fucked up and shit. Shit look crazy. If I have had it, it was very brief and passed through. But I try to stay away from my people. I work in the school system around these little ignorant ass kids and shit. They don't want to wear their mask. They be coughing and shit. Shit make you nervous. So I wear my mask just to protect my people. I got my grandma and shit. And people with health issues, man. Black folk, man, diabetes, high blood pressure and shit. So, I try my best to kind of like, you know, keep my distance from people only because I don't want to be bringing that shit around my people. So that's why I monitor how I interact with people in a general sense, mask on or mask off. Because, yeah, my people can get sick too. So that's the only thing that I get right with. Glow Master, I appreciate you, brother. He said, what do you teach? Do you have a PhD? Corey, I get this question a lot. Absolutely. When they call me Dr. Mike TV, man, that is not for fun. That is not for the shits and or for the giggles. Doc literally has his PhD. They refer to it more or less as a doctorate in business studies. So I got my degree in business education. I got my doctorate degree, my MBA, and then my bachelor's degree in marketing management. That was from the top to the bottom. And yeah, I teach marketing right now. I teach marketing. That is my coup de grace. That is my specialty. That is my area of expertise. But, being a doctorate, I have, how can I say this? Whenever I went to school, I think I told y'all this. When I go to school, right, although my major was marketing management, they also required me to take classes in accounting and also classes in human resource management. So whenever you graduate to your MBA and your DBA, at least in the career of area focus that I went through, they required me to take more classes on human resource management and also accounting. So knowing those particular career fields and knowing the basics of each of those, I can pretty much work a job in any of those career fields. Human resource management, easy as fuck. I know how to manage people. I know how to manage energies and attitudes. Accounting, I fucking hate it. Oh, don't make me do no fucking accounting. Oh, if them books ain't balanced, bro, that shit was the end of my life. Yeah, I never liked accounting. I could do it, I just don't like it. But I hope, Corey, I hope that answers your question, man. He said, I do admit I have sent money to a Filipina, but I let her buy foods for the house as well. I don't think it's an issue as long as you know where the money is going. It's not like a big shocker. Like, oh my God, I thought that you were going to spend this money, but you're spending it on your family. Oh, the audacity. Oh, the disrespect. I mean, he can't get mad at her for spending the money how she wants to. I think that it will make somebody feel away though if she was spending it on her significant other, like another person. I'm not saying that's happening, brother. Don't get it twisted. Don't let me put any ideas in your head. But I'm just saying, no, I think it'll make you feel away if you found out that another motherfucker was benefiting from your hard-earned cash. A little bit different. Yeah. So that's kind of why I feel a lot of guys really feel a way about sending money, and or they kind of send just enough to where it's more or less for personal use than it could be for the use by anybody else, right? Anyways, guys, well, we got 13 in the building, man. Drop your like if you haven't already. Doc would highly appreciate that. Yeah, love y'all. Truth be. Hey, if y'all want to support in any capacity, please feel free to do so. But of course, Doc's happy and blessed y'all come through, spend some time with the boy today. Now you're done. Forgot to throw that part in there. My bad. My Filipina is back to work again. She had lost her job due to the pandemic. That's a good sign for the economy. Oh yes, sir, man. When the jobs are reopening and people can reapply and or they didn't lose their job, they can always come back to it. I think that's dope. I think that's good that they didn't make them reapply. I think it's a good idea that they really didn't put them in a position to where they were just SOL, like they couldn't return back now, do a whole rehiring process and all that bullshit. But, you know, it's always good, man. Um, yeah, yeah, that's crazy. I'm just thinking about it because you would hope that your Filipinas and whatnot could have like differing thought process and heaven forbid this happens again, what they would do if they lost their job again. Hopefully they would be a little bit more forward thinking, but sometimes that's not everybody. So you just got to be careful. I'm blessed that I didn't lose my job. I got to keep it real. I'm blessed that I didn't lose my job. But even if I did, I would have been collecting unemployment, making probably more money sitting on my ass than yeah, that part right there. Can't do it, bro. Can't do it. I would have made more money sitting on my ass. Probably. He said, Doc, Russia has closed its airspace to most countries, so expect higher traveling prices to the Philippines or travel to the Philippines. Oh my God. Damn. That hurts. That sucks ass. But I understand. I know what you mean. There, like I think some of us do travel over Russia airspace in order to get to the Philippines. Depending on the direction you're coming from, you may come over there. And if they do shut that off and you gotta go around it or some shit, yeah, that could fuck your whole life up and definitely your whole day. So yeah, let's not fall into the trap of the politics. I mean, your boy Putin out there acting like he ain't got shit to lose, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. That man out there with nothing to lose. Shout out to my man, Mr. Smith. What's up with you, Corey? Hey, you asked the question. I said, ask me anything. I gotta answer it. So you're welcome, sir. Um, I don't think you should give them an allowance unless you tell them to stop working and they're a main supporter. I don't want to support freeloaders. Back up, rewind. Let me read that one more time just to make sure I clarify. Statement. I don't think you should give an allowance unless you tell them to stop working and they're a main supporter. I don't want to support freeloaders. I'm trying to make sure that I can dissect this and I'm trying to make sure I understand exactly what you're saying. Granted, you're 100% correct. I don't support freeloaders. Are you saying if they're the main supporter of their household, like they're the ones in charge of taking care of mama and daddy and, providing money for their particular household? Um, I don't. That's a tough one, brother. That's really tough because I know what you're saying. if they're working and they have a job, at least is what I think. If they're working and they have a job, what you're basically saying is, nah, I'm not going to send you money if you already have a job and you already supporting people. But if I'm going to support you, you need to send the money. You need to stop working, and I'll send you. Okay, I get it. I don't know, bro. You got me all over the place, brother. But I get where you're coming from. I get where your state of mind is. Got you. At least I think I do. Just clarify and correct me if I am wrong. All right. My man says no scientific evidence that masks work on the Omicron work. Omicron is the vaccine that Big Pharma failed to develop. Pandemic is as done as it gets. They're just still charging us. Yeah, those rapid tests, they still cost for the most part. They gonna get their money out of it, bro. It's the craziest thing, right? This yo. Let y'all know my favorite conspiracy theory of all time. Yes, the good guy got his arms up like a little biatch. Give me a second. Gotta change my arm direction. Let me tell y'all the biggest conspiracy theory that happened during the pandemic, and I love every bit of it because it was as blatant can be, right? You guys remember when all of this shit started and everything, and remember they didn't shut down the pipeline. What did they do? People weren't traveling, right? So gas was just all up in arms and shit. Remember that shit? Nobody was going anywhere. People were shut down. Places were shut down. So nobody was really buying gas because they weren't traveling. They weren't driving or anything like that, right? So gas, they were like producing barrels, and they were like, oh, we gotta waste barrels, 50 barrels a day or some shit, 50-gallon drums. We can't use it because nobody's driving and shit. That was right towards the beginning of the pandemic. I shit you not. What happened probably a couple of months after that? There was the conspicuous or the pipeline shutdown. What happened? Some pipeline got fucked up back then too, and it raised the gas prices, right? But no soon, and they were talking about gas shortages and all that shit, right? So no sooner than the pipeline reopened up, we were having an expectation that there were going to be a decrease or a reduction in gas prices, right? But what happened? They didn't do that, did they? They didn't do that. Gas prices huddled at about 350 for a hot minute after that pipeline reopened, right? So everybody had this expectation that gas prices was gonna go down, but that shit never went down. It might have gone down briefly just within the last couple of months, but guess what? Now we got this situation happening in Russia. Now there's another pipeline incident that has gas prices up to $4 fucking, 450. Robert, my man, all the way out there in Las Vegas, brother, tell me what the price of gas is out there, because I always ask you because they're kind of the bar and the standard in my opinion. California, if I got any of my brothers out there in California, tell me what the gas price is in your city. It don't matter. Matter of fact, it don't care. I don't care where you're from. Tell me what the gas price is currently in your city. I want to hear it. North Carolina, where I am, 379. I got my gas at, but I've seen it as high as 450. I've seen it as high as 409 and shit. So, see, tell me what your gas prices are on the other wherever you are. I don't care. It doesn't have to be the West Coast. Just let me know what your gas prices are, because I'm curious to hear. Um, my man said, being from Texas and having worked on a pipeline myself, a cyber tech stop flow is a scam. Sounds like it, brother. It does. And again, they threaten us with that bullshit, but yeah, I can almost guarantee that, it's weird. And then another conspiracy theory, you got not a conspiracy theory, but let me fuck with y'all real quick because this shit had me bugging. So you mean to tell me that all gas is all the same, right? You got people that be like, nah, man, I only put BP gas, I only put Texaco gas, I only put Amoco gas, I only put Shell gas, I only put Chevron gas in my shit. But you basically telling me that the shutdown of the entire pipeline shut down gas everywhere. So everybody's not working on their own pipeline. Everybody has the exact same gas. So there's generally no difference between unleaded or 87 at Shell gas station and the 87 that they sell at the BP. I don't know, man. It should make you feel away. So if you were ever gas specific, in my opinion, I don't really think that there's no big difference. I really don't think there's a difference. Not to me, at least. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but shit crazy. My man said I paid 508 last night. Robert, I hope you got a good job, bro. I'd be done shit myself with some $5 gas, man. That shit don't make no sense. I'm not obligated to support a family. I could be nice and help her out for emergencies. Oh yeah, nobody's obligated, brother. I'm with you, man. Nobody's obligated at all. He said, "How does the internet keep a valve from being manually open?" Hey, Jeff, I'm Jeffrey. I'm telling you, man, the shit real. That shit is real. 389. That sounds about right. Mine was like I said, 379. I've seen it as high as 409. In Tampa, they got it for 365. Not bad. 450 in Tacoma, Washington. God damn. Shit make my stomach hurt just thinking about it. He said this may be the last hurrah for big oil. The next 5 to 10 years, Doc, we're paying over $7 in Canada for a gallon. Damn, bro. I'd rather just sit my ass at home, get a bike, or just walk to work, because that's some bullshit, right? This would probably be the ideal time to live in a place like New York. Keeping it a buck with you, I can't stand New York. Shout out to all my New York brothers out there, gang, gang, love y'all. But I fucking cannot stand New York, y'all. I don't like New York. I don't like New York, right? It's not my place. I respect all my brothers who are from there, but me, myself, and I, we don't do New York very well. The only time I ever go to New York is when I'm flying out of JFK to leave the country. But the only thing I do respect about New York is subways and all that other shit, right? It's easier and cheaper for you to get around and not have to need a car. I mean, even in the Philippines, it's pretty dope if you guys actually care to, use jeepneys and shit like that. It's not bad if you're in the Manila area and you can get on the MRT and the LRT. You save a lot of money that way as well. I mean, you got to know your routes, you got to know where to get off at and shit like that. But for the most part, I think it's pretty dope. But just driving the car back and forth to work and stuff, it kind of feels like a lot of us are just working to pay for gas. That's kind of what it feels like. It feels like a lot of us are working just to pay for the gas that we put in our tank. Damn sure at $7, man, you're just working to put gas in your car, bro. I mean, I'm sure you got a good job and you make buku money. You're invested, like all my other brothers should be. But it just feels like you spend all that money on gas. Shit crazy. But anywho, 7 in the building, man. I'm sorry, why did I say 7? Yo, 17 in the building, man. I appreciate y'all locking in. If you haven't dropped your like, drop it. Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. I ain't gonna beg you, but there you go. He said they hold the supply to raise the prices. They have the oil in the ground, Doc. He said, I'm not worried. I own shares in Chevron. Touche. When I first I shit you not. When I first started investing in March of 2020, I had shares in BP. I had shares in BP at like $19 and $21, I think. I got in at about the $19 range to $21 range. And as you can tell, there wasn't much of a shift in it. Only recently did you guys see it skyrocket up to 30, because of what's happening with the gas and all of that shit. But I got in and I got out of it immediately. I think I made it through the first quarter of, no, I made it through that following quarter's dividend payout. After I got my payout, I sold it. I might have made like $18 on the dividend, and I might have sold it probably for $2 more than what I bought it for per share. Something like that. I can't remember. I got to go back to my history to figure it out. But, I would have put my money in Exxon. No, Shell. Was it Shell I like? No, it was Exxon. Yeah, I used to have shares in Exxon as well when it was in the 50s range, like 56, I think I bought it at. Something like that. I can't remember. Goes to show you how little I gave a shit, man. I was just trading. I won't really holding for long term shit. And as you guys know, man, the world's gonna be electric before we know it. So fuck it. Who cares? If you don't have your shares in Tesla, Neo, what is it? Ling Ping? I forgot. What's the other Chinese shit? Ling Ping, Ling Z. One of them Chinese EV stocks. I forgot. All I know is I got Neo and I got some Tesla shit. So yeah, man, electric cars future. Robert, I know you got a good job, bro. I was just fucking with you. Premium in Texas is 450. Damn. But like I said, see, the beautiful thing about it is at least I know my brothers can afford to pay for gas no matter what the price is. It sucks. For damn sure it sucks. But I know that y'all can afford to pay for it. Everybody in here probably got a decent job. I'm not gonna say it's the greatest of jobs, but either y'all own your own businesses, you got high positions and high companies and shit like that. And I could fuck with that. Truth be told. Like I said, either you own your own, your high positions, retired military, collecting check on check on check on check. You know what I'm saying? Invested or whatever it may be. So, like I said, this shit really doesn't hurt us as much as we think it does. It's just more or less an inconvenience, you know? That's the way I look at it, man. The way gas is going right now, it's not like it's killing my pockets, but it's a fucking inconvenience. Like, bruh, can y'all get this shit together? Can y'all stop trying to overcharge me? You want to know why I'm trying to leave this some bitch right now? Because y'all can't seem to get it together, right? Y'all seem like y'all really just want to fuck our lives up by allowing us to pay or by putting us in a position where we have to pay just this grandiose price on some bullshit gas, bro. The fuck I want to do that for? Honestly. Rid in this, Batman. Who out here is raising their hand to pay 450 for a tank of gas? Who out here trying to pay 380 when couple years back, weren't we in like the 290 range or some shit like that? Like a whole dollar. It don't sound like a lot, but when you putting in money in your tank, bro, that shit right there adds up, man. It does. But welcome to a wonderful world, I guess, man. Singapore and South Korea got good public transportation. They do. My brother's in South Korea right now. He doesn't need a car and never will. Like I said, he walks everywhere he needs to go. Just like me when I was in the Philippines, man. I walk or I take Jeeps, man. Also, Jeeps are now at full capacity. I forgot to mention that. I don't think it means much to my guys out here because a lot of y'all that do Grab or you guys that do taxis, a lot of y'all won't even worry yourselves with having to get around via a jeepney. But just in case you ever wanted to try the jeepney system, it's available for you. But in fairness, y'all, let's keep it real. Um, Traveling to the Philippines as we speak, I'm sorry, traveling around the Philippines, right? Jeepney is now allowed at full capacity, right? So guys can get on the Jeep and, you can ride it and it's not, oh, well, we got 10 people on here, so you can't ride anymore. Now they probably squeezing them some bitches back in there like they were sardines, bro. If you've never been on the Jeep full capacity, you have no idea. That shit right there is something else, man. They be scooping people over, bro. We be packed up in there like sardines for real. The Jeepney is only supposed to hold a real one, 7 on each side, 14, 2 in the front, 16 plus driver, 17. A legit Jeep is only meant to hold 17 people. Driver, 2 front seat passengers, 7 on each side. That motherfucker be trying to fit like 9, trying to fit like 20 of them bitches on there. People hanging off the side of that shit, hanging off the back of it, plus your conductor, man. They be wild. That shit be scary as hell. And they be driving like bats out of hell, bro. Man. Sometimes I just be praying these motherfuckers don't crash. One thing I do not miss about jeepneys, but it's the way, man. That's all we used to get, man. Big taxes on our gas up here. He said that's why it's expensive. Makes sense. Everybody will be riding scooters in the U.S. because of the price of gas, man. I'm gonna get me a bicycle, bro. I got a bicycle in the shed as we speak. Ah, my man, K Dallas finessing the system with the company gas card. Touche, my brother, because I wouldn't pay that shit out of pocket either. I use gas. I use Get Upside though. Real facts, man. I use Get Upside for real, for real. Like I use Get Upside. So That's all I use. He said 419 here in Western New York. Tom, how you doing, brother? Damn, that's not as bad as I thought though. I really thought New York would be higher. But diesel prices, see, the crazy thing about it is diesel prices in the Philippines are cheaper than your unleaded, but in the United States, diesel price is more expensive than the unleaded. It's just weird as shit. In Russia, after the sanctions, diesel is 58 cents per gallon and regular is $1.98. I don't know if that's good or bad. Are we talking about 58 cents like in their currency, or are we talking about just 58 cents for real? For real? Like that's the equivalent to what they're paying right now. That shit crazy. My man said Putin don't give a fuck about those sanctions. Oh boy, on the suicide mission. I'm telling you, man, that man is acting like he ain't got nothing to lose. Ford stock is definitely good right now, and the fact that they are in the EV market, crazy beautiful. If I remember correctly, didn't Ford win the contract over Workhorse? I think Ford won the USPS or the UPS or the USPS contract that Workhorse was going for. I thought Ford win it or no they didn't? Did Ford win? Did Ford win it? I think Ford won. If Ford won, fuck them, man, because they fucking take my whole stock, man. I lost half in a. I think I lost half in like 20 minutes. So what the fuck happened, bro? I was crying, yo, when I saw that Workhorse didn't get the contract bid and that stock tight. And I had M1, or it was in my M1 account, right? So I couldn't trade immediately. I had to wait until the next trading day. Oh, that shit fucked my whole life up, bro. I lost half of the value of my stock in like 20 minutes because they didn't win. My man said, "You got some Matrix stocks." I wish I did. He's in Atlanta right now. 87 octane is 3.99. Not too bad. That wasn't as bad as I thought. 4.19 for a gallon of regular unleaded here in Michigan. That shit makes my stomach hurt. I did hear gas in the Philippines is hella expensive too. My man Cal Winston, what's up, brother? He says 85 pesos per liter now in the Philippines. Damn. When I was there, it was 50, sometimes 40. The fact that it's doubled, the fact that it's doubled in 2 years or going on 3 years, I'll say, since the last time I've been there, that's crazy. That's that's a wow moment if you ask me, man. The fact that they've done that in a short period of time, shit. He said it's definitely higher overseas. You're gonna need oil to run the charges for the batteries. I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not surprised that it's more expensive over there. That sucks. Actually, back up, rewind. Hold on. Yeah. Mm. No, no, sir. You kill me with that shit. He said, don't forget the Uncas and the jeepney standing outside hanging. Oh yeah, man. Uncas is the new dude. Anybody, dude. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. It was I can't remember who introduced me to Uncas, but that shit, wow, bro. So basically, for those of you guys who are not familiar with what Uncas is, like my man Mike saying, basically it's like Grab, but it's the Grab for like motorbikes, right? So basically, somebody will pull up on a motorbike and you pay them, but you sit on the back and you gotta ride bitch. Let's be honest, that's basically what it is. You ride bitch on the back of somebody's motorbike, but they'll get you from one place to the other with the quickness. I assume it's with the quickness. I knew somebody who I was like, what the I knew somebody who told me about Uncas, and I was like, what the fuck is that? They were like, I'm about to catch an Uncas. I was like, what is that? And when they showed up, I was like, bro, that's what Uncas is. It's just a motorbike. Cause you gotta imagine in Davao City, that's just like anybody just get on the back of somebody's bike, they just need a ride. Somebody will bring them there. They done made a whole business out of that shit. So I have to say, Uncas is probably one of the most geniuses idea in Philippine history as I speak. They've had good inventions and they've had great ideas, but I think Uncas is probably the best idea they've had in a long time. Turning it into an actual business because it was something that people were doing all the time, anyways, right? And it's cheap, right? So as opposed to getting on a Jeep, and you gotta wait, all these people getting off on certain stops and stop here, stop there, getting in a taxi is expensive, getting in a grab is expensive. Uncas, your personal driver at a more affordable rate. I think until this day, I'm just in my opinion is like the best Philippine idea I've heard in a long time. Whoever came up with it, whoever I'm sorry, they didn't necessarily come up with it, but whoever decided to capitalize on it and make it a business, touche. Touche, my brother, touche. Oh yeah, man, them jeepneys, man, be squeezed up in there like a bunch of sardines and shit. 3, 4 people hanging off the back of that bitch. The driver, shit, sometimes they might try to fit 3 people in the front seat, so 4 total. 3 passengers and the driver. As long as he can still manage to do his manual stick shifting, oh man, we be packed up in there like sardines, bro. And that motherfucker be driving reckless. That man is reckless, bro. It'd be scary as fuck, man. And let me not get started on the music that be just glaring loud. They don't be playing. That music be loud as fuck. I'd be like, how the fuck am I supposed to tell you where my stop is when y'all can't hear me? I'm about to go deaf riding on Jeeps and shit. But I got some great jeepney stories, man. If you ever want to hear them, I got some good shit. Cause I used to go home late at night, like 9, 10 o'clock or some shit. Right after I used to have my class, or I used to go out and do something. Then I go home. What happens is the jeepney, cause I used to live in Terrell, right? For those of you who don't live in Davao, you won't know what I'm talking about. But it's like a 45-minute drive outside of the city. So the jeep, right? It would wait at like it would wait to get full at the top of the city, like in the middle of the city. They would get full before they choose to drive home, and they would make sure everybody was going to Real as their final destination. That way, they're not making frequent stops. So when I say they used to palace in that bitch, they used to palace in that bitch. This motherfucker be bobbing and weaving out of traffic and shit, blowing horns and shit. Motherfucking conductor on the back chilling, bro. I ain't never seen a conductor in my life. The conductor is the smoothest motherfucker I've ever seen in Philippine history, y'all. That man will ride on the back of a Jeep holding on with one hand, just chilling. Unless he had to collect money on the inside for, the people, the passengers and shit. Other than that, my man on the back of the Jeep chilling, just riding like this is normal to him. Like at any given moment, if this Jeep hit a hump or some shit or a bump, this dude's life is gone, right? He don't give a shit. I mean, and they be reckless, bro. I don't know what it is, man. I wanted to invest in a Jeepney at one time just to have like some income, and it was really cheap to get into it, but yeah, that shit. So, accident happened. Guess who's liable? Yours truly. And I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Oil futures are up $8 USD a barrel. If I was into oil futures, cray. Not happening, man. Crazy. He said when Biden called the report Porter and SOB, nobody paid attention to the first half of the sentence. More inflation is an asset, USOB. So from his mouth, and it is his intention to inflate as much as he can. Ugh. I don't want to know. He said, so you got to pay someone to be their bitch. That's what it sounds like, man, I guess. I wish I had a jeepney in the US. I bet they would make money. That is a great idea. Truth. Be told all day, every day, twice on Sunday. I do believe that jeepneys in the United States would make money. Also, sorry stores. Actually, when you think about it, sorry stores are probably equivalent to like the bodegas in no, bodegas are bigger. True. Well, we know that, but sorry stores are equivalent to like what bodegas are in like New York and shit, like corner stores and shit. So kind of the same premise, but I think sorry stores are way better because we're selling things at individual pricing. Yo, let me get 2 eggs as opposed to having to buy the whole carton. Let me get some Lucy's. That's what they call them here in the States. Single cigarettes and shit. They call them Lucy's. Let me get a couple of you Lucy's, 25 cents shit. People doing their own thing. But you know what it is, bro. Hey, 22 of y'all still here. Thank God for small favors. I'm happy to see you guys locking in and rocking with the good doc, man. If you haven't already dropped your like, don't forget, support if you want to. But appreciate that like, though, because likes are free. Y'all know better than that. Everybody say hi to my young lady. Give me a second. Hey, but what's up? Mm. He said LRT in Manila still be packing like COVID doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist there anymore. I'm not surprised. It was rough just trying to go there the first couple times, man. But they damn sure be in them bitches. They be packed like sardines, bro. And most people do be acting like, yo, they be on top of people like COVID just ain't never happened. That's what it make you feel like, don't it? This shit be having me bugged out. He said best Jeeps are the theme ones at night. Some of them be playing porn. I've never been on a Jeep that played porn though. I'm not gonna cap. I know what you mean by the themed ones. They are dope as hell, but I've never been on a Jeep that played porn, bro. And I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to, man. That should have just made me feel real uncomfortable, man. That should just I can't even imagine. I've never seen that in Davao. I'm never gonna say it doesn't exist, but I have never seen that in Davao, bro. He said, but regulation and zoning is what keeps sorry stores out of the United States. You want to know what also keeps jeepneys out of the United States? Emission testing. I don't know if you've ever see. Let me tell y'all a story because this is one of the jeepney stories that caught me off guard. Man, this shit made no sense to me. So, when I used to have this little car in the Philippines, right in Davao, I used to have to get an emission test before I could get my title and everything renewed for the car. So in front of me was a Jeepney and probably another car that needed to get their emission test before me. Bruh, the fucking smoke that kicked out from the back of that Jeepney when that motherfucker hit that gas. I'm thinking to myself, there ain't no way on God's green earth this man is about to pass his emission test. There's no way in this world that this Jeep kicking out all this black smoke is going to pass an emission test. That motherfucker gave him his paperwork, gave him everything that he needed, pushed him right along. And that right there let me further know that emission tests were basically useless. Because there's no way in this world that man should have passed his emission test. They were kicking out, I'm talking about puffs of black ass smoke. Like you talk about if you was an eco-friendly dude that day, you would have been in your feelings and you would have said the world's about to go to shit if they allow this man to pass this emission test. That's what I felt in my heart. That motherfucker passed the emission test, bro. He passed it. And I was like, there's no way. I said, I know for a fact I'm a pass. But when you see that stuff and you see them kicking out smoke, and I'm like, bruh, the way that they're, you know, basically commissioned, I assume, to continue staying on the streets and whatnot. And that shit, that smoke's something else, bro. That shit had me wilding. It's crazy, man. He said Walmart ran a lot of small businesses at Walmart ran a lot of small businesses out of town. They always do that. They're not fair. He said yes, regulation emissions is what keeps Jeeps here, but take off the bed of a normal truck and boom, and that 150 Jeep. Touche, man. That definitely could get some shit together. That can make some serious noise and whatnot. So I mean, I would love to have a jeepney in the United States. I think we have to shift it to it. We would have to convert it to electric, though. I think it'd be a little bit more accepting in the United States if you converted it into an electric vehicle. I think there are some electric Jeeps in the no, yeah, in some areas I think they have electric Jeeps. But this is what we doing, man. Mm, mm-mm. Said I know a lot of people who would drive one. Damn right. I mean, shit. If I know a lot of people looking for jobs, man, who would just drive a jeepney just because. I mean, it reminds them of a big body truck for sure. Hell, I would drive one if I had the time. Shit just looks like fun. But keeping it a buck with you, man, I love it. Robert, I got that meme, bro. That shit's funny. The motherfuckers did that and go for real. They making it rain. But I thought about getting into I really did think about getting into some oil stocks right now, but I realized I caught the wave way too late. If I wanted to get into it, I should have got into it weeks prior to, the prices running up and stuff like that. It really wasn't on my list of things to do because I knew that I wasn't going to be holding them for, too much longer or long at all. But hey, Robert, bro, I got mad. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta vent because I'm getting a headache, yo. So I am currently an owner of Main Street Capital. That is my stock of choice. That is my coup de grace. That's my boy right there. That's my boy. I love Main Street Capital, but Main Street Capital is supposed to pay me out monthly, but I didn't get an update on them paying me out this month. Robert, am I missing something, brother? Because Main Street Capital was supposed to pay me out on the 15th of March. I didn't get an update on how much they was paying me. They didn't tell me they was gonna pay me my usual 21 cents, point 215 cents per share that I'm supposed to get. But they did tell me I was getting my supplement. They're gonna give me 7 cents as a supplement at the end of the month on the 30th, but they didn't tell me they were paying me out on the 15th like they normally do. Oh, if I wasn't in my feelings, bro. Doc was in his feelings. I'm like, yo, they ain't gonna pay me this month. I said, how am I gonna eat, bitch? That's how I felt when they told me that I wasn't gonna, or when it showed up like I wasn't gonna get my normal dividend payout. I said, how am I gonna eat this month? Bro, I feel broke, man. Oh, I feel disrespected. I feel vulnerable. Robert, they are not paying us out for March 15th, brother. They are paying us out our supplements at the end of the month, man, on the 30th. That's the only thing they got posted as far as dividend payouts, brother. And I am in my feelings. I'm throwing shit against the wall. I ain't gonna eat this month, man. I need to give me some damn. I said shit. I need to go out and get me some snap or some wick in this bitch, man. Doc ain't gonna eat this month. I'm telling you. All the disrespect. He said it would be better than 200,000 CNG buses that lose money. Truth. Big facts. He said, "Hey, but to not buy gas." He said, I'm getting another bicycle, bro. I need a bicycle too. Sorry, man. I live too far away from my job to do that, and I don't want to be sweaty trying to go to work and shit. That's one of my big pet peeves because I sweat a lot. Like in the Philippines, bro, your boy be just drenched in sweat, and it's starting to heat up a little bit. Y'all know it's starting to heat up a little bit, and I love it. Yeah, it's starting to heat up a bit, so I ain't gonna be able to rock that. He said 5 miles on a bicycle should take 30 minutes, not even fast. I should probably cruise it. Yeah, Roy, I'm telling you, man, I wish I could apply for WIC, SNAP, and my welfare checks, man. Fuck, they're not paying me this month. They're not paying me out on the 15th. That's what it looks like, brother. I can't eat this month. I was starved, man. I was not ready for this. My heart can't take it, man. Don't tell me you not gonna pay me, bro. My heart can't take it. I tell you the truth. I tell you, the truth. My heart can't take it. I'll live, man. Maybe I'm gonna have to borrow some money. Have to take out a loan. Some shit, some bullshit, man. I ain't eating this month, man. It's just depressing, But it is what it is, man. I guess I'll just have to rely on my other dividend stocks to supplement that. But we'll make it happen any way we can. Anyways, guys, 20 in the building. If you got a question, anything I can lock in on, or anything that you just want to know my opinion on, please feel free to ask. Happy to just say some bullshit if you want me to. I'm gonna give y'all a minute. Come through with it. Then I'm gonna quit it. I bought Chevron in 2017 at 75. Bro, that's dope. Tonight it's at a 159. I think dividends are still $1.42 a share. I'm not gonna get up in your business because I don't need to know how many shares you hold. But yeah, man, that sounds good. You're already eating off of the money you made. So that's what's up. You're already eating off of the what you call it, the price increase. But the fact that you still hold and just eat off the dividends, hey, it's the way I would do it too. I told y'all, man, in this troubling time, or these how can I call it? In these times where things ain't quite right, just invest in your dividend stock. So regardless of what the price is, you're still gonna eat. That's the way I do it right now. I don't invest in any of my growth stocks right now. I mean, I can believe in them all the way to the day that I die, but right now it's just really, really uncertain how things are gonna move in the market. And I'm not trying to risk it. Just keep putting into my growth stocks because I believe in them, and I'm just going to have to believe in them for some years to come. Eventually, they will correct. Maybe you call this a market correction, maybe you call it a market crash. All I know is that my shit looking like a straight up period. I'm telling you, my portfolio look like a bitch on this period, man. This shit ain't right. That's not fair. I'm not eating, bro. Robert, I got you, brother. Let me see what you got. Cause unless you giving me good news, Pimpin', I don't play that shit. Maybe I just misread. What we got? So they gonna pay me? Good luck, man. Cause I looked at Nasdaq.com. I ain't gonna lie. I only looked at Nasdaq.com, Pimpin', and Nasdaq told me that they skipped all over our payment. Right. So like I said, that's what I get for relying on Nasdaq.com. Because it didn't look right. It was looking a little shifty out there. Doc was about to cry, man. I told you I won't go eat this month, man. I was not about to eat this month. He said, "Do you have a list of good Airbnbs in the Philippines?" Charles, that is a great question, brother. Yes, I do. But that list is based on prior Airbnbs that I stayed at throughout my journey in the experience in the Philippines. So it's not as if I have a list of places that were recommended to me that I didn't stay at. I only have this list of places that I stayed at, but they're in different areas in certain areas. So if you're gonna ask me, yo, Doc, man, what Airbnb do you recommend in the Mac 10 Cebu area, the Ilo area, the Aslav area, this place or that place out in AC and shit? I'm not gonna be able to tell you because I didn't stay in Airbnbs in certain areas. So I can only recommend the Airbnbs that I personally stayed at, but in certain areas, you know? And if that's not an area you're traveling to, unfortunately, my brother, that's going to be virtually useless to you. So, like I said, I can give you some Airbnbs that I stayed at in certain places, but I can't vouch for them all if I never stayed there, you know? He said, let me get one up from Johnny Bookman Brown of Good Times. He said, just passed away yesterday. No, I love Good Times. I used to watch the playbacks, man. He said, my mutual funds are down, but they'll come back in the future. I'm cool with mutual funds, man. It's just, I'm an individual stock investor, man. I was never big on index funds, mutual funds, or anything like that. That was not my thing in the back of the day. Nowadays, I'm like, fuck it, man. That's the safest bet because I'm still gonna eat. I'm still gonna get paid. All I gotta do is continue funneling my money, especially when they're down right now. You know, buy them at the discount because you know eventually they're gonna bounce back, right? But if you're like me and you got questionable growth stocks that have all the potential in the world, but like they say, potential don't mean shit till you show you about that shit. It's kind of where we at in my life. And if I curse too much, just tell me. I'll calm it down. I'm just in my feelings, man. Just in my feelings. Can I post it in the Patreon? Sure. I'll go ahead and give you a list of Airbnbs that I did stay at. As a matter of fact, I'll probably do you one better and just do you a video of all the places that I did stay that I recommend. Nah, I'll probably put it. I'll post it. I'll post it because sometimes my videos don't come out great, wherein I'm lining it up and all that shit and whatever. So yeah, I'll post it for you, my brother. Don't worry about it. Matter of fact, I'll give you a list. I don't want to put out their contact details of the people that I did stay with, but I'll put it out there so that you guys can see it. In every area that I've been in that I recommend, I'll definitely put it out there for you to check out. Okay. So, matter of fact, I'll get that done this week. It should be a video that will be posted in my Patreon this week. I never knew that you guys were interested in it. Like I said, man, if you guys got any ideas for me to post for you guys, I'll gladly drop that shit in the Patreon for you. Like, because I do believe I need to give y'all more content. I'll be throwing some shit over there, but I owe y'all just a little bit more. So I'm gonna put a little bit more for y'all. So I'll do that. I'll probably look into it tonight, man. Look into it tonight. If you already have, I'll give you my nah. If you've already stayed in Airbnb, you don't need a code or anything. I'll give you like a code that I have. But anywho, I'll take care of that one for you, my brother. Quick, fast, and in a motherfucker hurry. All right. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Charles, I got you, brother. I already put it in my mental to go ahead and make sure I drop that information for you as soon as possible. Mm. Joseph, I appreciate you and the faith that you have in the good doc. I do. You know what's crazy though? I still imagine myself being the best at this shit. My numbers may not be better than everybody else's and shit, but it's like I still know that I'm the best at this, at least in the sector that I service, right? Because this shit is fun for me. I can do this all day long. I can entertain all day long. I never run out of things to say. I never run out of topics. I'm surprised, man. I've been doing this shit for 5 fucking years, man. But I still got shit to say. I still have something, whatever's coming up in the moment, current issues and shit, I still got something to say, man. So at the end of the day, man, I do know that eventually your boy's gonna catch the W. Always. Stock market, I'm gonna be all right. YouTube content still gonna be here unless YouTube decides to take my channel away. And let me tell you, man, I didn't tell y'all this, but YouTube was this close to trying to take my channel away, y'all. Mike knows because I talked to Mike offline. He knows about it, but I was this close to getting my channel taken away, and nobody ever knew it. It was the scariest thing ever. Let me tell you what happened. Only my guys who are on my Patreon know about this. But no, actually, they don't know the story, but they know the video that I'm going to reference, right? So what happened was I put up a video that was direct to the Patreon. I just unlisted it on YouTube, so like my main audience couldn't see it. That was pretty much what it was, right? But what happened was YouTube sent me a message talking about the video that you put up was cyberbullying or some bullshit like that. I can't remember how they classified it. They tried to cancel me, bro. So it was like, what did they say? Cyberbullying or some bullshit like that, right? And I'm freaking the fuck out. I was like, yo, man, there was nothing wrong with the video. If anybody who saw the video, my patrons who saw the video, I'm like, bro, there's no way in this world this video could be cyberbullying. I'm not bullying anybody, right? But um yeah, man, they tried to cancel me, so I wrote them real quick because they were like, if you want to appeal it or whatever, some shit like that, appeal it. And I'm like, cool. So I said, yo, this video, it's not even a public video. It's, it's just for my Patreon or whatever. I just put the video up, blah, blah, blah. It's not cyberbullying, whatever, 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 whatever. I just explained my case. YouTube came back to me less than 24 hours, yo. They said, okay, we're not going to give you a strike for it, but we're just going to label it. We're going to restrict the video or some shit like that. I said, that's cool. I said, restrict the shit. I don't give a fuck. But don't give me a community strike because that would have been my second one. The first one was a video that nobody even got to see. That's what pissed me off. I got a community strike over a cockfighting video, big pause. But it was a video of it was a legit video of it was a cockfight. Or yeah, you know what cockfights are in the Philippines, little birds going at it and shit. They were like, oh, it's inhumane to animals. I said, what? I said, y'all gonna get me for this? So yeah, that was my first community strike. And if anybody knows how YouTube works, guys, community strikes don't go anywhere at all. For sure. They don't go anywhere. So yeah, man, I was this close, y'all. This close to losing my whole channel over some bullshit. So, and I mean, you gotta understand, Doc's content over here, man. I don't bash nobody. I don't bully people. I very rarely use other people's content. I just kind of stick to my own shit. Anything that you would think would get somebody like deleted off of YouTube, talking about sensitive issues and shit, I kind of avoid that stuff. So I'm thinking to myself, yo, what the fuck did I do? They tried to get me, man. I was J close, man. Could have lost my whole channel, fucking around with y'all. I love my guns, bro. I shoot shit for a living. KO. Yeah, Coca-Cola's not bad either. What is Coca-Cola stock price today, man? Interesting. Somebody tell me, what is Coke's price? I haven't been up to date on that. What age do I plan to retire? If everything goes right in my life with cryptocurrency and stocks, I want to retire by 45. I know, man. That's crazy. But if you want to know the truth, the age I want to say I'm done with everything by 45. I know. It's weird. I like it because it sounds good in theory. But the thing about it is, man, I got too much energy, and hopefully by 45, I still got a lot more energy to keep working, right? So I'm kind of stuck on that, like, yo, man, you got to keep pushing. As long as I can continue to get out there and make this bread, to stop at 45 seems stupid. But hopefully it would be to leave the United States for good, focus more on something online as opposed to literally just not working. But by 45, man, I want to be done. For sure. He said, do more collabs and join panels and your numbers will grow. He said, I found you from a collaboration. Charles, I'm glad that you said that, man, because I have a lot of that coming up very, very soon. I'm glad that you said that. I do have some collaborations coming up very, very soon. Matter of fact, if everything goes well, I think I got one lined up for next week. I don't necessarily want to put all that energy out there just yet because I'm not 100% sure if it's going to lock in and go through. But yeah, man, I got a collaboration coming up soon. I'll probably make a quick announcement for it on my community tab so that you guys can join whenever we actually do make the live. So yeah, man, I should have one coming up this week. I know I definitely have one coming up this week with my boy, of course. And I got another one planned this coming up week. So yeah, man, I'm definitely planning to do a lot more collaboration work. To be honest with you, Doc has always loved collaborations, man. I just guess not a lot of people want to fuck with me sometimes. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. I thought I was a pretty cool guy. I used to think I was a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with nobody. Nobody fuck with me. And during the time when I remember this distinctly, there was one person that I really wanted to work with. And then I realized something when they like they didn't shit on me, but they kind of just like neglected to, let me know that they wanted to do anything. They ain't even fuck with me. They ain't even respond back. I mean, damn, at least tell me you busy, right? At that moment, that was when I said, fuck it, man. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it by myself. Because at the end of the day, I can't rely on anybody and no collaborations to actually make this shit work. Right? If you can't manage, maintain, and control a live stream by yourself, then you ain't shit in this YouTube. From beginning to end, from bell to bell, Doc is gonna try his best to entertain his people. Y'all know there's very little dead air, dead time when it comes to Doc in his live streams. I am talking to you from the time that I say, "Hey, what's good, what's good, what's good, beautiful people," until the time that I give you my ending. We're talking. We're politicking, we're having conversations and shit. So there's very little time for dead air when it comes to a good Docs live stream. And hopefully y'all leave entertained. I mean, 28 of y'all in the building as we fucking speak. And I'm like, damn, that's what's up. I appreciate that. We was up to 32 about a minute ago. I'm like, yo, how the fuck did y'all find me? I'm glad that you did. And if you didn't drop your like, please do. But facts, man, for sure, bro. A lot more collabs in the future. Index funds are down also. Gary, let me tell you the truth, though, brother. I would rather be in an index fund. I would rather be in something that's going to pay me a dividend than to invest in a growth stock that ain't paying me shit. I'm just having to wait for it to actually bounce back. Man, fuck all that. If at least if I'm in a dividend stock, man, I'm paying in it while it's low. Coca-Cola included, paying in it at whatever price it's in, and I'm still going to get my dividend regardless. I mean, hypothetically, there is a potential chance that they're going to cut the dividend, and that could potentially happen. It happened a lot during the pandemic. A lot of people cut dividends. AT&T cut, BP cut. I mean, there were a lot of people who cut dividends, right? So it's not as if it can't happen, but more often than not, depending on what type of stock you invest in, chances are they're not going to cut. Or at the very least, you're still going to continue to get paid on it regardless, right? So for me, it's just a matter of, yo, let me just get into a dividend paying stock. I'll continue to put money in it, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm still going to get a check at whatever price it is. As long as I hold it, I'm still going to get paid from it. So granted, your index funds and your mutual funds and all that stuff may be down, but I do believe that if you still eat off of it or you still get a dividend, whether it's a minor one or not, I still believe that it's still good to have that over praying that a growth stock turns green and it doesn't. I'm telling you, man, my shit look, dude. My fucking portfolio looking like it's on this period. I ain't capping, This is it's a bad. It's been a bad couple of months, y'all. And anybody who's in the stock market, y'all know, man, this has been a very trying time. This has been a very test. This has been one of the hardest tests I've ever had to play in my life because I'm thinking to myself, bro, is this shit ever gonna turn around? And I watch all my favorite YouTubers. They be like, basically, it's like they're having a personal conversation with me. They'd be like, Doc, stay the course, brother. Stay the course. Stay the course, man. Yeah, it's down. Yeah, it's down. But stay the course, my brother. Stay the course. So I continue not to look at my account on a daily basis because it's depressing as fuck. So for me, it's just a matter of, just not paying attention to it. They'd be like, yo, you need to keep putting money into it while it's down, bro. This is the time to pay into it. And I believe it, but I'm still thinking, shit. um, I could put my money into something that's going to pay me for sure, as opposed to a skeptical stock at best. And it's not so much that I've put my money into risky, volatile investments. It's just a matter of I put my money into something that has drastically gone all the way the fuck down. And for the life of me, I can't understand why. Even when the reports or the quarterly reports are promising, there's no misses, we got beats on all of this shit, man. Like, why the fuck are we still down? It just it becomes, bruh, it's hard. That's all I'm gonna tell you. This is the biggest test of my life, y'all. I mean, there were times when the market was down before, but it's never been in my whole investing experience. Again, I've only been in it for a couple years, but this has been the hardest time I've ever had to go through. Right? Been the hardest damn time of my life. But I'm in it, man. I'm in it. Yeah. Pedro, you remember the video I was talking about? That motherfucker age restricted that video. It was a good video though. I liked the video. I thought the video was all right. I mean, I think my gentleman enjoyed it. I mean, it was literally the best video that I could put out without putting out everything. You feel me? If you know, then you know, man. Only my patrons will know about that video, man. Because, like I said, I share a lot more over there on my Patreon channel. It's my special little part of the world, and I like to give as much information and as much bullshit as I can, and as much shit that I can put out there for my brothers over there on Patreon. All right. So as long as y'all enjoy it, man, I enjoy putting it on. Maximus, what's up with you, brother? He said, "Can foreigners bring a gun to the Philippines?" Hell no. Don't do it. 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 No guns in the Philippines. And I'm gonna tell you this: if you need a gun in the Philippines, bro, you shouldn't be traveling to the Philippines, man. Just if you, I keep a weapon in the United States of America because it's the fucking United States. Number one. Number two, I come from the great state of North Kakalaki. Let's keep it a buck and a half. If you don't having a gun is my God given right. Okay, it's just like what they do down in Texas, man. I carry a gun. I just think it's nice to have a weapon. I don't brag about it. I don't walk around trying to brandish my weapon and show everybody, yo, look at me. I'm a bad motherfucker because I got my little 9 millimeter on me. What you trying to do, bitch? That's not the energy I have with my gun. My gun is just there because that's my best friend. That's my bestie, right? And it's always by my side. It's on the wrong side because it's on my right side and it should be on my left side. But that's another story for another day because the clip that I bought is a righty and it was supposed to be an IWB inside the waistband, but I don't like having to use it as an IWB because I got to buy my pants a size larger than I normally would just to have it fit inside. And then I got to get a gun belt and all that shit. So usually I just clip it to my right side. Long story, whatever. But yeah, man. If you need a gun in the Philippines, bro, crazy. Bag, don't be put my see. That's why I can't fuck with you right now. Go, babe, go do something. Go do something today. Cause you over here just putting my shit all out in the bin, just throwing all my shit out in the world, right? I did say 35, so I put another 10 years on it. That was before I decided to get into investing. So yeah, it's gonna be another 10 years added to it. Hell, I might change it to 55. Hey, don't keep fucking with me. I might make it 55 because I can do that shit. So Coke is now 62.57. That's what's up. YouTube censoring some nonsense. I played a classical guitar piece and someone copyright claimed it. Bro, you can't win on YouTube, man. The shit's crazy. KO was 62.45. That's not bad. I remember when I was in it, I want to believe that my Coke shares were about 48 to $49 a share when I was in it. But I sold it at like the early 50s, man. I didn't make too much money off of it, but I enjoyed having it. I just didn't like the dividends, bro. And that's just me. Maybe the slow and steady shit, I liked it, but I just felt like I could gain more money off of it. And I didn't really like waiting 3 months to get paid. That's why I only invest in monthly dividend paying stocks, y'all. I'll tell you the truth. If it ain't monthly, don't talk to me about it. People be like, yo, Doc, you need to get into this, bro. You need to get into that, bro. I said, does it pay me monthly? Nah, man, you got to wait a whole quarter. I said, no, thank you. It's not like it really makes a difference. I get it, right? Whether you get paid every month or whether you get paid every 3 months, whether you get paid semi-annually, whether you get paid annually, whether you get paid every 6 months or whatever, it really don't make any difference because you're still going to get paid the same, depending on what the dividend payout is. But I like to see that shit in my check every month. I told you, man, I was scared I won't go eat. My brother Robert, he pretty much saved me from jumping off of a building because I thought that May won't go pay me. I told you, man, I thought I was about to starve this month. Big boy about to starve, man. I can't do that. He said, I appealed, composer died in 1909. And for some reason, the claim copyright should be the crime. Less than 24 hours, they took off the claim. That's true, man. It didn't take long for them after I explained my situation that's what it was. So it's like 62.57. Got you. He said they strike you for chickens fighting, but yet it's a man. They have a dog fighting channel. Yeah, I literally got a community guideline strike because I was showing y'all a cockfighting video. I tried to. No sooner than I posted it, it was literally unlisted. right? And I had planned on probably scheduling it out for the prior week. Them motherfuckers took the video down and gave me a community strike. I said, huh? So Coke's out. Yeah, he said, damn, you dreaming. He said, you got it. I know I'm dreaming. I'm a big dreamer, bro. Like I said, man, life different for me, man. James, what's up, brother? He said, Doc, he said, knew we things. He said, no, we had things in common. He said, I'm a gun enthusiast and I have FFL too. Oh, man, I love guns, man. Ain't don't nothing wake me up in the morning than the smell of gunpowder, man. I love that shit. Oh man, I love my shotguns too, man. I'm like big on 9 millimeters, but I got 20 gauge. I got a couple. My dad, I should say, has a couple of 20 gauges that I love putting some rounds through, bruh. Ooh, them 20 gauges. Ooh, the smell of that shit, man. Big, ooh, bruh. I love my guns, man. Don't you dare try to take my guns away from me. Fuck that, right? I'm not a card carrying member of the NRA or none of that bullshit, but I tell you right now, bro, don't take my guns away from me. Don't touch my guns. Just leave me the fuck alone. I'm not in this business to try to flex on people. I just like my guns. Can you just allow me to have guns and shit? That's how I feel, man. He said Coca-Cola pulled out of Russia, so the price of the stock will go down. That sucks. Doc, how many years more until you get to retire? That would be roughly about a decade from now, sir. I am currently 34, turning 35. I know. Big whoop. Look at this face, man. Tell you, man, it's moving in the baby's ass, bro. By the time I'm 50, maybe I look 30. I don't know. But yeah, I am turning 35 in November. I'm old, man. Old soul. People can't believe it when I tell them. They be like, Doc, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way in this world you 35. I was born in 87, man. Graduated high school in 2006. It's crazy. But yeah, man, it would be 10 years if I live along the lines of the 45 of the 45. I might switch that a little bit. But KO increases dividend again, 44 cents per share. Touche. They never cut. Yeah. Coke was old and reliable, man. Coke did never cut. You're absolutely correct. And some companies, actually, a lot of companies never cut their dividends, right? So even during the pandemic, they may have kept it the same. They may not have increased it over the year. But yeah, some companies never cut. One of my favorite companies of all time that I used to have on my portfolio before I gave it up was AbbVie. I called it AbbVie, AbbVie, AbbVie. I loved it. I hated it. I got in at 100. It ended up dropping down to like $80. I kept putting money into it, putting money into it, putting money into it. Next thing I know, they are very good at increasing their dividends. Insane. AbbVie has some of the man, their dividend increases beyond one. Every year they increase that shit a significant percentage, man. If you go through and check their dividend history, you'll see what I'm talking about. But they really put some shit behind it. But like I said, after I literally became anti whatchamajigget, after I became what anti quarterly payments and I just wanted to get it every month, that was when I sold out of it. So I only have monthly paying dividend stocks. Can't do much more than that. Y'all can keep your Coca Colas. I don't want it. Buy stocks of companies that actually make money. Truth. Yeah, I got some risky ones in my portfolio. I actually have a couple of them that are brand new to the game. They may have just IPO'd or came through via SPAC, probably within the last couple of years or so. So I do have a couple of those. Have they been proven? No, but they definitely got great data behind them. And I think that's pretty much what fucked me in the ass. Big facts, big pause at the same time. Hey, I just wanted to see if I can get it at the ground floor or something, which is why now I'm literally stuck and committed to having a stock for 10 years now because I want to see it go all the way down. I want to see where we're at 5 to 10 years down the line. He said, "I got a boatload of AT&T. They just cut their dividends." Yeah, but AT&T is solid, bro. Yeah, they had that Discovery thing, and they had their sell-off and all of that stuff, and that kind of just rearranged everything. But I do believe that selling off of what Discovery or splitting it off or spinning it off into its own, it kind of did help out with the finances and the balance of what's going on at AT&T. From everything that I'm reading, it really did help out with the balance sheet and it really helped out with the finances, to get rid of it because it was such a debt load that people were really like, yo, what the fuck we got this for? Yes, they did cut, but the way that I see it is, brother, as long as you continue to eat, as long as you continue to eat off of it, I don't see a problem with it, right? I do believe eventually AT&T will bounce back. Might take some time because they're going through a resurgence of sorts, right? They're trying to maintain the telecommunications, but they're also trying to diversify and get into other things. Yeah, they bought Time Warner, I believe, right? And that shit wasn't the greatest investment of all time. And they ended up selling it for far less than what they got it for. That pretty much got them messed up too. But I do believe that if you stay the course with AT&T, I'm not telling you to do that. Sell it if you want to. But if you do stay the course, man, I do believe that as long as you continue to eat off of AT&T without having to sell it, I wouldn't trip. But I do believe they have a potential to bounce back. Granted, they were never really great. I mean, even when I was looking at it, it was in the 30s, 35. It might have topped out at 35. Although 35 sounds a whole lot better than what it is right now, they never really shot through the roof in reference to having good returns and shit, as far as I can remember. He said I dropped a lot of money in the stocks just before the drop. Damn, bro. Just before it dropped. I did get lucky. I did get lucky, y'all. I will say this. I bought ChargePoint at about $11. I bought a shitload of ChargePoint at $11, which was really good. And I sold it after hours the day of their quarterly earnings report. It missed. It definitely missed. It didn't miss by much though, right? So I bought it at 11-ish, 11 and some change, sold it at about 15 and some change because I was like, the minute that they said that they didn't beat or that they missed, I was like, yeah, let me just go ahead and sell this off because it's going to go down again. And lo and behold, I think it's at like $12 now. Whatever charge point is right now, somebody told me, I think it's down to like 12 and some change after hours on Friday. So it may go up, it may go down, but I ended up cashing out at a decent time. Like I said, I'm not in the market as a trader, but sometimes I look at shit and I'm just like, yeah, this ain't working. SoFi, I still got my SoFi, but I'm stuck with that. He said companies that don't turn a profit got hammered. Truth. Get some Solana, brother. I got a lot of Solana. This is by far Solana and Litecoin, LTC. Them motherfuckers is really on my list right now, and I'm looking to really push and get into those particular cryptocurrencies. I've already loaded the boat on ADA. Y'all still know I'm very long on Cardano. I just like it because it's cheap. Hopefully, Cardano will retire me in the next 10 years. That's a prayer. That's a hope, a wish, and a prayer. But Solana and Litecoin, LTC, those are my babies right now. Those are the ones that I really see great value in. And to think about it, Solana's down in the 80s right now, like 88, 89 the last time I looked. But you realize that it's been trading up as high as 200 and like 30, 215, 230. Can you imagine if you get it at 80 and it really goes back up to what it used to be at 215, 230? I want to say it's been even a little bit higher. Litecoin has even traded up as high as like $300. So my thing is, if I can get it now in the $100 range and just hold it, bro, you can really make bank. How much money you want to put into it, that's up to you. Like I said, I buy a coin every now and again. I'm not going to lie to you. Doc doesn't have large positions in these particular coins. And the only reason I do it that way is because I'm not sure if it's going to go up or if it's going to go down. At least if it goes up, I got my small little piece. If it goes down, I'm like, okay, it went down another $5 or $10. Let me go ahead and get another one. Oh, it wants to continue to go down. Let me get another one. Okay, it wants to go down. Let me get another one. Right? Because I do believe in the potential. Right? And every time people are buying NFTs, they're always buying it as sold. It weirds me out. It's almost like, I think, as far as I can remember, every NFT that I've ever seen sold, the cryptocurrency that they're utilizing is Solana. So I kind of felt like that works. I also got some money in Mana Decentraland. I'm still continuing to do that because that's going to be the metaverse play, or money that will come through the metaverse. My man said, he said, I'm a bad motherfucker. I got my 22 LR. Touche, my brother. I ain't mad at that. He said, your coke, Paul shit. He said, your coke. You know what it is, man. My crack cocaine. The smell of napalm in the morning. That shit wakes me up in the morning. BTC just broke down this past hour. I'm probably going to get some more. Is it down to 35 yet? If it's not down to 35, I'm not going to get any. I'll wait for it to hit 35 and then I may buy some. AT&T might be a good play right now, even though they cut. Stock is still a cheap price. You're absolutely correct. I would go for it. I would definitely go for it. I still think AT&T is dope. He said, keep the faith. I believe that's what you say. He said, look, that stress or alcohol will have brother looking like a leather belt. Oh, keep the youthfulness. I'm sorry, brother. I couldn't read. I'm retarded as hell. Oh yeah, man. I don't drink a lot of alcohol, man. I don't smoke. I've never smoked weed a day in my life. I've never even smoked cigarettes. Crazy. I don't believe that contributed to why I look the way that I do. I just think I got great genes, man. My dad still looks really young. He's in his late 50s. I think my dad might be turning 60 in the next couple, at least not maybe not this year, but the next year. He might be like 59 or something. My mom too. Um, but yeah, man, my brother, he got it in him too. So it just runs in the family and shit. So I'm just gonna hold on to this for as long as I can. That as I hope I see. The thing is, I don't grow facial hair either. That kind of attributed to it as well. I can't grow facial hair. You guys know I got alopecia. If you don't, surprise, bitch, I got alopecia. So, um, that kind of played into it as well. Oh, it's 1440. My bad. Shit. I thought charge point was like at $12 or something. My bad, bro. Let me look at Weeble real quick. That is all me. My fuck up. My bad. But yeah, I got out of it when it was at its highest point. I think it was in the 15s or something like that. It'll go back up for sure. I just played the market, thinking I was cool and smooth and shit. I would actually look into Lucid as well. Damn, let me stop telling y'all my plays, man. Because I don't want anybody to think Doc's over here trying to predict the market, even though I don't know a damn thing about it. If Lucid goes down to $20, I would be interested to pick some up. I ain't gonna cap. If Lucid hits $20, I would buy some. It's at 22.63. I'm praying it goes down to 20. I'm actually praying it goes down to 19, keeping it a buck with you. If it hits 19, that's definitely a great buy point. I saw it going as low as 15. That's a stretch. Let me not play with y'all. I saw it hitting 15, but if it does hit 15, I'm loading the boat, bitch. I'm loading the boat. But Lucid, if it hits 20, I'm all in on that. I tried Facebook. Facebook, oh, it got me good too. I thought Facebook was gonna have a transition or a turnaround. No, sir. He said, I'm not even looking at the market until the war chooses the direction. I don't like gambling. Yeah, I wouldn't get into anything new, but I would still continue to funnel money into things that I currently have, as long as they're dividend paying stocks. That's me. As long as it's a dividend paying stock, man, I'm in it. I won't do anything else. But yeah, Robert, it is 1440 after hours. It unched. It's no up or no down, so we're good. He says I need to get in some of those cheaper coins. Cardano, super cheap, 84 cents. Loop Ring, LRC, I got some. I don't know if I would recommend that to anybody, but Decentraland, Mana, uh, LTC, Litecoin, and Solana, they're not cheap coins, but they stand to you stand to make a decent amount of change if you stay the course with them. That's all I'm gonna say. You stand to do right. I promise you. LTC and Soul, those are my favorites right now. Those are the ones that I'm looking to add money to, but I refuse to sell any of my other coins in order to add to it. So I gotta wait until I have the money lined up in order to buy it, which keeps me balanced and it keeps me focused and it keeps me budgeted because again, I believe in cryptocurrency. I'm a big advocate of cryptocurrency, probably a little bit more now than I am in the stock market. Let's keep it real. Um, but I'm not one to jump the gun on anything. I'm not going to go all in on anything. I'm going to make sure that my finances are lined up. Like I said, if that means a coin here, coin there, Or if it's down in like the 84 cent range, I might put $100 in so I can get 100 plus coins or whatnot. Only if I believe in it do I really load the boat on shit like that. But for the most part, I just keep it a coin here, a coin there. That way, if it ever decides to go up, guess who's eating? Me. Am I eating a lot? Don't necessarily matter because at least I got in when it was low. I got in at its lowest. That's kind of how I look at it. But I never went crazy, right? I never spent my entire balance on that shit. That's important to me. He said, I like Litecoin too because it's just a ledger, not a stock in disguise, and low transaction fees. Litecoin is that joint, bro. I love Litecoin. I just think that Litecoin, if it goes below 100, that is definitely a sexy ass buy point for me. I bought it at 100 the other day. I got a couple. But if it ever goes down below that to like 90, I'm gonna get a couple more. If it hits the 80s, I don't think it's gonna go that low. I pray it doesn't break that low. But then again, I kind of want it to break that low. Um, I'll get some more. Right now, Sol is at 81, y'all. If you do not have Solana in your shit, get you some Sol, baby. Get you some Sol. $81, bro. It's beautiful. I hope it hits 70, bro. I really do. Get you some Sol, man. Get you some Sol. Litecoin is 98 now. You guys can't see it. Maybe you can. Litecoin, shit. Yeah, fuck it. Y'all know what I see. Anyways, Litecoin's at 98. I'll get more at 90. But yeah, I just use Coinbase and that's all I care about. Yeah, man, no gray hairs, man, because I ain't got no hair to go gray. He said, I've been in crypto since 88 was 1 cent and Binance just started. Nobody knows, but my play is going to be buy more if Bitcoin goes to 20K. That's not a bad play. I wish that I knew about ADA in the dollar range. I mean, at the 1 cent range. That would have been beautiful. I would have never needed to sell at all for any reason whatsoever. I got into ADA at about the $1.50 range. It was $1.50, man. Oh yeah, Mike's always around, man. Shout out to my brother. He's somewhere. He said, I have Webull, but I hate how it takes forever to deposit funds. Truth. I have Webull too. Don't use it also. XRP lawsuit should be done around August. I have yet to buy XRP. I don't even know what platform I could actually buy XRP on, which kind of pisses me off. But I'll make it happen. I don't know where to buy it, G Miller. I swear, bro. If it's not on Coinbase, I can't get it. If it's not on Webull, I can't get it. Makes my stomach hurt. Y'all need to go ahead and trade them shits. In the Caribbean, you can use Bitcoin, I believe, a lot. Probably because Roger Bird is there and he sets businesses up to accept it. Hey, LTC is below right now. It's 98.60. Yep. Ah, I'm really tempted, bro. I'm really tempted. I'm tempted. Watch me do something stupid. I'm gonna wait till it hits 90. I don't even believe it'll ever go down to 90, but fuck it. I'm gonna wait till it hits 90. Maybe 95. Maybe 95. Maybe 95. Maybe 95. Shit. Maybe 95. I gotta go to Uphold. Shit. I'm not trying to go to another site, guys. Damn. That's just me. I don't know how bad I want XRP, man. I've been hearing about it and it's really attractive. I don't want to miss out. One of my biggest fears, man. I don't have FOMO, but I really don't want to miss out. I might get Uphold. I might look it. I might get it. I might get it. I'll think about it. If I get it, I'll let you know. But for sure, I'm gonna load up on Litecoin and get me some more Soul. Facts. Probably one each. Now that I'm thinking about it. My man said he dropped 20 racks in the stock market and 2 days later, war in Europe. Did you invest in any dividend paying stocks, bro? Just a quick question. I'm just curious. Did you invest in any dividend paying stocks? Because at the end of the day, as long as you invested in dividend paying stocks, man, I see you still winning. As long as you can continue to eat, because they continue to pay. If you got some dividend paying stocks, pimping, you should be all right. Anyways, y'all, 21 in the building, man. 30 likes. I appreciate y'all. Truth be told, I don't have anything else to talk to y'all about. Y'all, my boys and shit. Appreciate it. Energy stocks and banks. Oh yeah, you good, bro. Don't trip. Unfortunately, you know what's funny though? I know what you mean. It's unfortunate that you dropped it all at one time because I don't know if you got any extra or reserve to put in right now that it's lower, right? So you got it, you bought it, now you're stuck with it at that price. If you would have put like five in or 10 in, you would have at least had 10 to the side to average down into it. Yeah, I know that kind of sucks. The fact that you can't buy it in, I'm sure you have the money, but you kind of like skeptical about going ahead and putting more money in it because I would be skeptical as hell too. He said, well, Doc, XRP is readily available. Just got to know how to stay off grid. It's pretty easy, actually. Good conversation for some offline shit. I just got to figure out my move with it. I see about it. I read about it. I hear about it. I hear people really going in on that shit. So, yeah. I'm with you, Jeffrey, man. My brother got to stay the course, man. Dollar cost averaging. Yeah, but if you would have put 20 racks in at one time and you don't have any reserve for you to be able to dollar cost average down, yeah, that would piss me off too. It'd be different if you drop like 10, right? And then you got 10 to the side, like, okay, go down a little bit more. Let me put another thousand. Okay, put another thousand, another thousand. But oh, that sucks, man. He said, I try to keep 5 to 10% in cash, so I will just wait. Good. Please wait. please, please just wait. See, but the problem is though with waiting, I hate it because everybody be like, bro, this is the great buying opportunity. This is the greatest transition of wealth in human history, y'all. I don't know how many of y'all ever heard that shit, but that shit be making me mad. They be like, yo, this is the greatest transition of wealth ever. That means, man, that while the stock is down and everything, you see your whales, they're buying and they're buying and they're buying, and you should be buying too. To be honest with you, I wish I could. I would right now, honestly, I would buy whatever Nancy Pelosi is buying. Facts. If I could look at Nancy Pelosi's investment portfolio, I literally will shit myself. I want to know when she's buying. I want to know when she's selling. Cause I don't know about y'all, but y'all know her salary is like what, $200,000 a year or some shit. But this bitch worth like 100 million, 200 million. I don't know exactly how much Nancy Pelosi is worth, but she's better than fucking Kathy Woods, y'all. Yo, fuck Kathy Woods. I want to follow Nancy fucking Pelosi. I may not care about her politics. I don't need to care about your politics, but let me get an inside look into your portfolio just once. Let me get a snapshot, boo. Just let me know when you're selling. Just let me know when you're buying. That's it, right? I'm not greedy. I don't need much. But Nancy Pelosi, if I could follow one person's stock market moves, I know, boy, she better than Buffett, bruh. She's better than Buffett. Bruh, she's better than Buffett. Keep yo, big facts. You can quote me on that. I would follow Nancy Pelosi. I want to make the stock market moves that Nancy Pelosi makes. I want to know when she buys. I want to know when she sells. I kind of wish she had a Patreon, y'all. I'd follow her on Patreon and know her stock market moves, man. Damn. Somebody help me, please. Nancy Pelosi, yo, y'all think I'm joking. Pelosi don't lose, bro. She don't never lose. Everybody knows why she don't lose, but there was a big scandal about Zoom too back in the day. I think she was a part of that Zoom stock that kind of boomed, during the whatchamajigga, during the stay-at-home days. Zoom just to the moon, yo. Shit was crazy. But I would follow Nancy Pelosi way more than I would follow Kathy Woods, way more than I'd follow Warren Buffett. Can't tell me nothing. So yeah, Pedro, I'm here in Canada. They have been on fire. Facts. Man says she never loses. She don't. Playing the market is never ending learning experience. If you have read the book The Richest Man in Babylon, only invest in what you know. That is truth. Never invest in any of that extra shit. That's pretty much where I messed up in the beginning. investing in things that I didn't use and or investing in things that I didn't believe in, but I saw, excuse me, I saw hype around it and I felt it. Now I did win sometimes, yo. Let's keep it real. I did win sometimes. Other times I was like, I lost because I didn't believe in it and it failed. So, it's all hit and miss. But I'm telling you, follow Nancy Pelosi. If I could follow her on Twitter and if she would give me some stock market Nancy Pelosi, man. He said, too bad I didn't follow that book's advice. Yeah, I think we all are attracted to certain stocks that sound good in theory. He said, Doc, what's your thoughts on Russia stocks like Luke Oil or Lukoil? Um, man. The thing is, anything in Russia right now, that shit you shouldn't touch. You probably can't touch it even if you wanted to. The thing about it is, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. If I could invest in Russian stock, like if I had access to the stock market right now, I would definitely probably put some coins in, man. Right? I would definitely invest in the banking. I would invest in anything stable in the country. Yes. Right now it's all fucked up. It's not as if I'm gonna put my whole life story into Russia in Russian stocks, but I would definitely invest if I could because regardless, man, I see a bounce back. I see a resurgence. After this all settles, yes, Russia is not on the right side of this right now. I get it. Okay. I'm not picking sides. I'm not gonna sit there and fucking play like, oh, I'm for Russia, I'm for Ukraine. I'm staying the fuck out of it. But I promise you, in times of war, man, this is the time we should be eating. My dad said something crazy to me a long time ago. See, wartime is when the real people get paid, right? During wartime, this is where people get paid, right? Your contractors, man. Well, this was back during the time when people were invading Afghanistan and going to places like Iraq during the Bush administration when my dad was doing his contract work and he was at the height of it too. All this man was making thousands of dollars by providing bottled water to the bases that were set up in Afghanistan and Baghdad and places like that. If my dad could share his story, like write it down in a memoir or some shit, man, that man got some stories to tell. But I'm just glad he shares it with me. But my dad was eating good during those times, thousands and thousands of dollars for, what do you call it? I mean, just running water here, fax paper, printing paper, ink, whatever they needed for these bases, man. They were like minimum $2,000 orders and shit. So during war times, people do eat. They eat very well. I see the same for, what's going on now. Again, I want you to understand that we would play the side of Ukraine, of course, being American and whatnot. You wouldn't be in the trenches on Russia side. I would hope not. Um, but yeah, I do believe that those government contracts are going to hit a little different now. If you do happen to be in Ukraine and you can set it up like that, you know. So if I could invest in Russian stock, I'd invest in Russian stock. Why? Because I do see a bounce back. I mean, I hope Putin is not on a suicide mission. That's what it feels like. It's what it sounds like. I'm not comfortable with it. But I would definitely, definitely, definitely look to get into that shit. Money is made in war times, y'all. Nancy Pelosi, man. Shout out to Nancy Pelosi, bro. I wish she was like my grandma or some shit. She teach me some stock market moves, man. She be making the money moves for real, for real. He said there are websites that track what senators are buying and selling. Yo, give me that website. I heard about it. I need to know what Pelosi's into. I could care less about everybody else. What is Nancy Pelosi buying today? When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Exactly. He said most of the politicians, if not, are all inside traders. You damn right. I know that. I just want to be on the receiving end of that. I'm not looking to get super rich, right? I'm not looking at my trades to be mirrored like that of Nancy Pelosi in reference to value, of course, because I ain't got money like that. But I will tell you this: I want to. If they eating, I want to eat too. I'm not greedy. Okay, let's keep it a buck. I'm not greedy. But if they eating, I deserve to eat too. I don't care if it's crumbs to you. because it's that bread to me. Regardless whether it's crumbs or the crust or whatever, man, it's still bread at the end of the day, and I'm trying to get mine. And if I could rock like y'all, let's get right. You may say don't go. I wouldn't. What about Filipino stocks? Jollibee, Globe. Mm, I gotta ask wifey. My girl's there. We have Jollibee. We had Jollibee. I would just invest in Jollibee stocks. He said, "Look at Venezuela, USA trying to fix relations." Yeah, about when it comes, don't they have oil out there? Trying to make sure I got that right. He said I should have shorted uh the what? The ruble. Sorry, on forex. He said we all saw it coming, clear as day. Why didn't I do it? I'm not into currency exchange or currency trade. I wish that I was because I would definitely go hard for the ruble. Get right, get paid, get out, man. I know it's gonna bounce back. Let's keep it real, man. Let's keep it a buck. Yes, we are not on the side of Russia as Americans, but damn it, we can still eat, bruh. I still don't believe there's anything that says that we cannot benefit and or profit off of war like everybody fucking else does. Granted, we're choosing a different route, a different avenue. We're just playing the market a little bit before they shut it down, shut us out. But hopefully Russia and all of that stuff, everybody comes to their senses and it all stops. Not sure when that's gonna be. But at the end of the day, if I can get into it, slide into it, catch it on the low, like on the low, 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 I don't mind putting a couple $100 in, maybe 500, maybe even a stack. Whatever I could afford to just throw around in the market, man, I would buy that shit. Wouldn't think twice about it. And I would just sit there, let it happen. Pray that fucking Putin doesn't fucking fuck up Russia too bad. Fuck up Russia too bad. Give it about a couple years. It won't even take that long. Give it to the end of the year. And we'll start to see things trend in the right direction. So yeah, I could feel why we didn't do it. It'd make you feel away. But at the end of the day, we were just cautious in our moves. Like I said, I'm not gonna sit there and make those moves like that all the time. Because again, it may backfire. Let's keep it real. Although it sounds good in theory, it could very well backfire. Let's just make sure we note that. It sounds good in theory. Yeah, let me get into the ruble. Let me short this some bitch right now. Get my money right. Get my game time. Everybody get paid tonight. Then the motherfucker just it never comes back. You know, it sucks. He said buy a Russian total market ETF if you can. Truth. That's even better. Yes. Let's get a total market ETF, something like we have the S&P 500 or whatever the equivalent to what the S&P and the Nasdaq is in the United States. In Russia, I would definitely get that. Right? Whatever top 100, whatever top, bro. Can we get we really need to get into yo. We need to do a deep dive on that one, bro. Like, although this isn't my stock channel, I just like talking about money. We need to figure out where we can actually physically buy a total market Russia index, ETF or whatever, total market ETF for Russia. If you can find out where we can buy it, chances are they've already cut it off already, so we're not going to be able to invest in it from outsiders looking in. But I want it. I want it. Oh, I want it. Money is definitely made of more. If I can't follow Nancy Pelosi, at least let me find a total market index for Russia. Hell, Ukraine too. Fuck it. Let's just go both sides, bro. Let's just fuck it. Let's just eat on both sides. But because Netflix and other companies took out their business from Russia right now, yeah, man, they hurting for certain. I did hear that some people were doing Airbnbs in Ukraine to give the country money. Even though they didn't plan on going there and staying there, they were utilizing Airbnbs to provide resources to the country. Don't know exactly how that works. I just heard it. He said, I spent a day in the stock exchange in Manila. It's a cute miniature exchange. Really, it's small, but it's an experience, though. I've seen it on TV. I never actually went. I didn't think I cared to go at the time because when I saw it, I wasn't really in the market. Only recently did me and my young lady really decide it was a good idea to go ahead and get some stock market investing. If I could record it, and I mean, I don't think they may allow you to record in there. I'm not sure, but I would love to check it out one time myself. You know, it sounds fun. He said, I don't think Rush is bouncing back after this. That's even if there is an after. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, my thoughts, like I said, we got to understand that although it sounds grand in theory, it can always backfire. That's one thing I have to say. Putin is definitely ready for endgame. That's what it feels like. He's really out. He's really out that shit. Google. Robert, I'm not buying it until after the stock split. I will buy Google, but I'm not buying it until after their 20-to-1 stock split. I'm not buying it before. I'll buy it after. If you guys aren't in the know, let me go ahead and drop some knowledge. Google did plan to do a stock split, 20-to-1, right? You guys know what that means. Basically, for every one share you own, you get 20 shares. That's going to reduce the price a little bit. It's going to make it more affordable for the little guy like myself. And I promise you this, when that 20-to-1 stock split is official, more official than a whistle, I am going to buy probably about a couple shares, maybe 5 to 10 shares of Google after the split, right? Yeah, not before. So yeah, I'm gonna buy. I'm that this would be the first time I will ever get into Google. You know, Google owns YouTube and a whole bunch of other stuff, so that's really a great company to consider. I do believe they're a growth stock. I do not believe that they are paying a dividend. And they're also part of the FANG, man. Everybody know about FANG stocks, Facebook, Alphabet. Oh no, Facebook, Apple, FANG, Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, and I think that's it. Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google. I think there's a couple of other things in there, but yeah. He said Jollibee always gets bigger. Yo, get Jollibee stock, bro. I would buy Jollibee stock just because, just to have it. I would buy it, but I would hope it can get cheaper. Green Newbie, you didn't know about the 20-to-1? The 20-to-1. There you go, Robert. Tell him, bro. That 20-to-1 split. Yes. Get it on the 20-to-1. I'm waiting for the split. That's it. If Amazon split too, oh, gang, gang, I'm in. I'm in like flame, y'all. He said Trump is having a ball right now, making fun of everything that's going on. I think that's not cool, but it is what it is. Green Newbie, you didn't know about the 20-to-1? My brother, that is like great. That is the news of the century for me. So it should be trading at about 150, maybe. I don't know what the price is today, but if it splits, should be trading in the $100 range. It's going to be affordable very soon. Problem is disclosure is 45 days. I think for politicians to make their trades public, too much work, man. I ain't doing all that. 21, that's at 45 days, bro. Damn, man. All the good shit be done passed by the time we actually get a hold of the information. Only way Russia bounces back is if they, oh, they're not going to do that, brother. They are not touching that, man. Not happening. Dr. Mike, he said, you the future. He said, I'm just old and I am with you. Hey, man, I just, I don't know, man. I look, I just appreciate y'all locking in. Hey, man, if y'all want to live vicariously through me, I'll, I'll be there. We'll just have fun, man. But like I said, you're in the crypto like the rest of us, man. So we gonna all eat. That's all I can say. We are all gonna eat. Paul, what's up with you, brother? Appreciate you coming through. It's July 15th. Cool. Guys, Google's 20-to-1 split. If you guys are interested, Robert says it's July 15th. I'm gonna take his word for it. I just got so excited about the news that I didn't even know when it was coming. I just figured that the information would come down the pipeline sometime soon. But yeah, man, facts. I would buy Google immediately. I bought my Apple shares before they did the 4-to-1. I bought my one share before they did the 4-to-1, but I'm not going to risk dropping all those grains until Google is more affordable for the little guy. So as soon as Google becomes more affordable for the little guy like myself, I'm getting it. My man said I'm running the whole bag on it, bruh. Yo, bruh, you ain't playing. I like I said, I plan on just toe dipping, and the only reason I'm gonna do that is because I didn't set aside funds to do it. I may actually sell one of my depleted stocks just to get into Google. I might. I might just do it, man. I might just basically call a spade, get out of it, go ahead and give me some Google shares. Can't do it. If I can, I will. My man says, man, I'm pretty pissed to be honest. I just went to the embassy to submit the documents for the visa application, and they asked me to provide the passport details and contact of the person I'm going to visit. Hmm. I think that is a requirement. I think that is. I never really thought about that. I never. Yeah. Some people do ask that. I'm sorry, brother. I am sorry that happened to you. Oh, you're saying it's making his head bigger? Likely. He didn't have that issues. He didn't have those issues. He said, I was like, what the fuck? He said, I brought all my documents based on what is stated on the embassy visa for application, and now they asked me for some extra stuff. He said, my flight is next week. Get it, man. Just get the contact information. I don't. Well, actually, yeah, they have to put a letter in. I think. I think the person you're staying with has to have a letter or a submitted letter or something for you to take to the embassy. Yeah, I do remember that. It's just that they don't ask about it that often. That it's something that's easy to slip your head, bro. He says I need the visa urgency, and the treatment I got was very nice. I mean, they're not bad people. It's just make you do extra shit. Yes, Robert, I'm a toe dip type of person, man. My funds are wrapped up in crypto. They're wrapped up over here. A couple of stocks there. Some investments and all of this shit here and there. Damn, bro. Yeah, it's gonna be a toe dip for me. He said, "Shit, I would have probably gone in head first if I really would have known." If I would have known. But yeah, man, I think we've been on long enough, man. Damn, this Q&A lasted longer than I expected. I was gonna let y'all go on about your business, but I appreciate y'all locking in, man. I appreciate y'all spending some time with the good doc. I should have very well let y'all go hours ago, but hey, we here, baby, and I'm happy to spend some time with my people. All right. So shout out to all of my silent partners in the background. Y'all know who y'all are, the individuals who just come through to listen to me talk my nonsense. You don't necessarily participate in the chat, but just your presence is needed, it's warranted, and it's damn sure appreciated. Okay. So all of my silent partners in the background, love y'all sincerely from the heart. All right. I want y'all to know that. To all of my brothers who participate in the chat, show some love to the good doc. Keep the conversation going. Love y'all more than anything in this world. My channel doesn't exist without y'all. Y'all know that by now. All right. So unless y'all got anything else to say, I'm gonna let y'all go and get to getting. All right. Enjoy your Sunday evening. The lurkers, man. You gotta love them. Just let them lurk, man. We ain't semi-silent for me today. Like I said, shout out to all my people, my silent partners. Y'all know who y'all are, and then also my guys who heavily engage the good doc in conversation. Either way, your presence is well appreciated. Like I said, I don't know what y'all be doing in the background half the time. I really don't. I don't know what you're doing while you're listening to me, but as long as you're enjoying the smooth sounds of the good Dr. Mike TV and all of this nonsense, I appreciate y'all more than y'all probably appreciate me. Okay? So, you know what time it is, man. Time for the good doc to go and get to getting. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the good doc is officially out. At least not go back, which means I am going now. Bye bye. He said, "You don't know what we doing in the background." I really don't. I said that shit all the time. I don't know what y'all be doing. I'm scared to ask, but I really don't know. Right? So I just I don't know what y'all be doing in the background, but whatever you're doing, you get a thumbs up from me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me go on. Let me just go on about my business. I really don't want to know. I swear I don't want to know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, love y'all. Sincerely do. Makita mabuhay. Peace.